Alright, there we go. Hopefully this is working. Hey guys, Zomb Phox here. It's time to do the final, I guess, live stream of the regular season. This is not the last one, as I am doing one next week, but at least for this season, this is it. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun one. We have the Tank Bowl III. The winner of this gets the first overall pick, which is pretty, crazy all in all. So, it'll be something. Just currently checking to make sure everything's working. I'd assume it is. I hope it is. Okay. Yeah, I know like the last stream there were some issues with the audio and the mic, but that should all be fully fixed now, which naturally is good. Yeah, I got some new lights for the room, hence why I have the light off. There was some glare, and now I've got, actual lights. Again, change it to green, get some RGB lights, so I can pretty much do whatever. So yeah, pretty cool. Finally got, a little bit more upgraded on the set. Game will start in 15 minutes, and this past week was wild. I mean, so far this week has been really crazy. All 3 games are decided by 1 point. All of them were, well, 2 of them, but pretty much all of them were determined by the very last play of the game, essentially. You had 2 games have a missed kick. You had another game where it was a very close game and a team had a shot to win it on a final drive. It was a crazy week, and it's not looking forward to making the power rankings because I already know that no matter what I do, people are going to be upset at it because you could very well make a case for basically any of the top 4 teams to be anywhere in the top 4, which is crazy, but somehow is what it is. So, yeah, and then we've never done a primetime stream before. Yeah, I know that he technically got tipped, but as I was trying to tell people online, the fact is that Santoso's leg is just not that strong compared to like a Jake Bates, and so his kicks are a lot easier to be blocked, and I think that that's kind of proof of why sometimes you have to say that, yeah, even a blocked kick is still on the kicker, because if you're able to, like the first kick he missed at halftime, that's a kick that if let's say Jake Bates were kicking it, that wouldn't have been blocked. Would it have gone in? Maybe, but it would have not been blocked. But since it's Santoso, it is. Hello, G-Man. We got a Showboats fan here hoping to get their W. I would have been rooting for the Roughnecks for my Fox Super 6 picks, but looking at it, I kind of do not want to see that because looking at it, if the Roughnecks win, and even if my other pick is right, I'll end up getting like top 10 instead of top 6, and I'll be very disappointed. So I really don't really have a, favorite in this game. But once a few more people come in, I'll put out a little, poll. What do you guys think is going to win this game? Because again, this is the Tank Bowl. This is the Super Tank Bowl, or dubbed the Toilet Bowl. This is the second time we have seen this. We did see this a couple of years ago in the USFL, where we had the Maulers play against the Panthers. And I know he's another guy that's in here. Adam said he will be joining at around 8 p.m., he said. So for, all the stats and all that, he'll be here in probably like an hour-ish if he's able to. So there's probably some other people who come in, so that's just an FYI. Since I know, he's a legit community hero having all the stats and all that. So he'll be here probably in like an hour, he said. So that's good. And yeah, I mean, we finally have the playoff things. I mean, I just had a video come out like 50 minutes ago with my playoff picks, and I'm still not confident in the picks I made. This is going to be good playoffs. I mean, it really is. I really don't think any of the top 4 teams are that much better than each other. So, it's going to be interesting. I really could see any of the teams in the top 4 win it. I could see any of the top 4 teams lose it. Especially since it's just, like, the Battlehawks, it took a bunch of mistakes by San Antonio for St. Louis to win, but at the same time, AJ was hurt, but the Brahmas were missing both their running backs, QB got hurt, and the Panthers weren't playing with Sims. It's just, power rankings tomorrow is going to piss some people off. I already know it, because Battlehawks fans are going to say they should be top 2, Brahmas fans are going to say they should be top 2, Panthers fans will say they'll be top 2. It's not looking forward to it, but it'll be something. But yeah. So let's just put that out there since we're here. Let's put out the poll. Start a poll. Who wins? I just spelled wins wrong. That's the next thing. I got these lights, but the next thing I got to do is I got to get a better keyboard situation here. Memphis, Houston. Memphis, Houston. There we go. I hope I didn't spell that wrong. No, I didn't. Okay. So there is the poll. Let's get that up. Okay, great. It's like in the way. Chase Garbers came back to get hurt. Yeah, that was a big thing, and especially since he didn't even like remotely look like he was going to come back onto the field, there's definitely a huge question mark of exactly how healthy he'll be during the week. The whole reason, I mean, I don't want to spoil it in case you haven't seen it, but you'll see exactly why I picked the team I did in my playoff prediction video because of it. Houston, have you seen them the past few weeks? Houston's looked pretty good the past couple of weeks, honestly. So I think Houston probably does win this week game, but I wouldn't be shocked if Memphis wins it because it'd be so on brand for both teams to lose this game. It really would. Because Houston's been the better team, but it'd be so on brand for Houston to somehow choke this game. Versus Memphis, who it would be another gut punch to their fans to lose, which would be on brand, but at the same time, it'd be hilarious if this is the week they finally win. Because it's just like, I mean, the Michigan Panthers a couple years ago, you know, when they were playing the Maulers in the first Toilet Bowl, they did not look that good, and then just all of a sudden, like that, they just had one great week, and that's all that matters. So, it'll be interesting. We got the poll going up there. So far, it's split exactly. Oh, Houston's got a one-edge lead currently. But yeah. It really has, so... I mean, I wouldn't say the exact same reason, but it is true that Houston hasn't been the best. The past couple weeks, they definitely looked better, but even then, I mean, like I said, the Houston played Michigan much better than Memphis did, but at the end of the day, both teams still finished that game with like a one-score difference. So it's kind of hard to judge exactly how much better one team fully is from that game. But in terms of like last week, Memphis, I think this will be a fun game. I had it being like a 5-point game, so yeah. I do think this will be a close game, and I do think I will end up being sad that my Fox Super 6 picks will be just outside of the top 6, and if you're not top 6, you don't win anything, and I fully expect that to happen to me, and I will be upset, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And I would be perfect on my Fox Super 6 picks if Santoso hadn't have gotten 2 kicks blocked. Carter's best offense in the league. I still can't believe we saw that. that was still the best. That was definitely hilarious. That was for sure. That was the best. But yeah, I mean, let's see what's going on here. So, in terms of this game, right, the big thing is that at least I don't remember seeing any massive injuries on their injury report. If anyone saw anything else, let me know. I just don't remember seeing anything on it. But at least yeah, it was. It was during the Renegades game where he said that, during the Renegades Tank Bowl at halftime. He said they have the best offense in the league. But this is one of those games where both teams seemingly are pretty healthy comparatively. I believe Josh Love is starting this game for Memphis, and I'm pretty sure Sinnett is on the depth chart, but it's probably going to be Henderson. I just know that Josh Love, I'm pretty sure, is the one starting for Memphis, so that's a pretty big deal right there, as it's his first start of the season. I don't believe he started last week, and it'll be interesting to see how he does. It would be on brand for him to pull off that one random game where he, goes off, which is what he did for Michigan last year. But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty big deal. Don't go 1-9. I mean, yeah, you've got to hope that, because, I mean, if we're being honest, and I hate to say it, but if Memphis loses this game, they have a very good argument to be the worst ultra-modern-day spring football team. I mean, it will be, because, I mean, it'd be pretty hard to view them as better than the 2022 Maulers or even the 2023 Vipers, just with how bad a lot of the losses have been. So, for Showboats fans' sake, they need to win. Get 42. Oh my god, no. Bro, that'd be so messed up that happens again. I mean, hey, we did have a safety today. I mean, I don't know if all of you saw the Renegades game, but we had that crazy safety Juwan Manigo got where, just literally said, "Here, DC." Oh, Adam came here like an hour earlier. Nice. But yeah, we're just talking about that. I mean, the Renegades had that crazy safety where it should have ended the game, but instead, somehow, some way, Renegades still won that game, which was really crazy. So it'll be interesting to see how this game goes. Will this game be as close to the last one? We'll see. Yeah, that was insane. I mean, for those of you who didn't see it, it was on the kickoff, which for those of you who don't know, the kickoff, it's like a punt in terms of the rules of it being touched by the opposing team or the kicking team. Manigo grabbed the ball, then went back, put it into the end zone, and then got touched, so it got touched down for a safety, which was hilarious. And then somehow Arlington still won the game, which was the best part. Because DC is a choke job artist. They just choked so hard against them. And I mean, hey, Arlington finished 3-1 to end the year. I mean, I tried talking about it, during the rest of the year. Arlington, for the most part, was a really good team, and even when you look at how they've been playing like an elite team. It's just that they kind of started the season horridly with all those terrible close losses, but it is what it is. I honestly think that this would be I think that the Renegades DC game has a case to be a top 5 game of the season. It had everything you'd want. It had moments where it was a defensive standstill or standoff. You had moments where it was, big mistakes, big plays. I think it might be a top 5 game of the season, unironically. I think it was definitely the best game of the week. Best 3-7 team ever. In spring football, for sure. I can't think of one that's better. Let's go Memphis by Chris. I mean, hey, we got the poll going up, and it's still almost 50-50. I mean, it's 57% Houston, so it's not like it's that big a difference. I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent with whoever wins this one because, like I've always said from the beginning, there's a lot of players in Memphis I really do like, and at the same time, I did pick Houston to win this game. So I'm not going to be too upset either way. It is what it is. But, I mean, the game starts in just a few minutes, and it'll be something else. These people are ruthless Lamau. Attendance might actually be decent Sunday Night Football for this overall pick. It'll be interesting to see because I know a lot of people said that a huge reason why it was so bad for most of the year, the reasoning was because of, Because of the, when the game was starting. So we'll see if that ends up having a big effect. I mean, we saw DC have slightly better attendance, which is a pretty good thing. But yeah, okay, I'm not used to using this site. I'm using something else to watch this game, so I'll have to pull it up real quick. But it is what it is. There we go. Will CJ keep his job? I think it's very interesting to see how they do it because it's hard to tell if they really are going to fire somebody, like fire. Me and a lot of people believe that Kirby Wilson got fired by the league, quote unquote. So if they were going to do that, CJ's got to go. He was so bad this year. Like, I get it. They had some injury issues, but as I talked about at the very beginning of the year, their defensive line was so much depth in it. They really didn't matter if 3 or 4 guys got hurt because they had about 8 of them who could start on most teams. So the only real injury that was of impact was Mark Thompson. Yes, the Isaiah Henney situation not working out definitely hurt them. But I view it as yes, CJ should go. He was clearly the worst coach in the league, and that's despite guys like Reggie Barlow consistently mismanaging timeouts, mismanaging challenges. That's despite DeFilippo refusing to do anything about the offensive line until it was too late. CJ was definitely the weakest coach, and if somebody's going to go, it should be him. That's for sure. I agree with that. Kirby Wilson. For those of you, because I know, nope, you didn't watch it. Kirby Wilson was so bad for Pittsburgh. He was horrid. You imagine you are a garbage team that can't win a game. You get a QB who finally plays good and wins you a game, and then you bench him 2 weeks later for no reason. That's Kirby Wilson. That dude was a joke in this league. But yeah, CJ is definitely way better than him, but definitely the worst in the league. The Stallions about to get beat next week. I hope so, obviously. I'm a Panthers fan, but I do think that Birmingham wins. I think that this past game was a huge reason. This past week was hugely because of the fact the game didn't really matter for Birmingham and they didn't want to show a lot. That's why I'm hoping that Michigan is going to start Bryce Perkins and that it was a smoke screen starting at Link for most of the game. We'll see. Pizzagate. Oh, dude, no, not Freedom 68. Oh, my gosh. But yeah, dude, seeing De'Veon Smith go off this week, remember, De'Veon Smith should have been a Pittsburgh Mauler. And then, he just wanted some pizza, and he got cut for that, which really sucked. Yeah, the game's about to start, so if you haven't already, make sure to like this stream. This is the last regular season stream and second to last of the season. Like I said, I am going to stream the Panthers-Stallions game next week. So, we'll have one more stream for this season, but yeah. What's worse, Orlando last year? I would say Memphis now, because Orlando at least pulled off a great win. Memphis their one win was a win where the opposing team muffed a punt and was just not good. So I would say Memphis currently, but I would still say that the 2022 Maulers were probably worse than Orlando. The 2022 Maulers were just bad. They got one lucky win from a last second touchdown against a team that blew 8 halftime leads in the Gamblers. I would say that was the worst team. Then this Memphis team might be second to worst. But if they win this week, then they're not. But if they lose this week, then I would say they're the second worst. Kirby Wilson, man, that was a fun time. That was a fun experience. Yeah, because to be fair, the Maulers in 2022, they didn't have the worst point differential, but they were just one of those teams that, like, it's just like the Houston offense before Mark had been going off the past few weeks. That was just a tough team to watch. But yeah. I mean, yeah. I remember back in 2022, Kirby Wilson always just getting mad during the halftime when the team losing. I'm like, you're the head coach, don't blame the players. Yeah, I mean, like Kirby Wilson, I just don't remember at any point being like, yeah, Kirby Wilson's a great head coach. He was one that from a mile away, right? This was when I was first doing videos on the channel. I was like, he is the worst coach in this league. That ranking on my head coaches list didn't age like a good wine. That aged like the finest wine ever. I said he is clearly the worst coach in the league heading into the season. And dude was horrid. Because he was a guy that had no real reason to be a head coach. He was like an RB coach, and that was all he ever did. He was a joke. I'm surprised DC's attendance was decent. I was too. I get it's the season finale, so I guess that probably helped. Season finale, a little boost there. But that was definitely a good sign. But overall, of course, the attendance this week was pretty poor so far. Birmingham's was horrid. It was like 7,500. But St. Louis had a really solid game, and then, of course, next week's going to be better. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens for attendance. But yeah, I'd say that it was decent. All right, so we got to keep the poll up for a little bit longer. We've got 20 votes on it so far. Houston, 60%. At least Houston makes the game fun to watch for fans of the other 7 teams. The Maulers were just a bad experience. You know what? Even though Adams got the point differential thing, which is true, Orlando had the worst or tied for the worst, I actually agree with G-Man. That Maulers team just sucked to watch. It really did. Like, no matter who you were rooting for, the only game that was fun to watch was that game against Houston, and then their final against Michigan, where Michigan pulled off, that incredible just obliteration. That was it. Yeah, that was a bad break for the Panthers, especially when you see Bates miss that field goal. Like I was talking about it on X, there is a very real argument that Bates just lost his Special Teams Player of the Year award to Chris Rowland. Because when you look at it, Rowland's been getting better and better the past couple weeks, whereas Bates, once you get past like week 6, week 7 to now, Bates, from that time frame, has been pretty bad. So it really hurts, and now there's a huge question mark on exactly how good Bates will be for the playoffs. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the playoff game is, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. The Stallions were horrid. The fact that the Stallions got the W is crazy. My power rankings, which will come out tomorrow or Tuesday, I legitimately don't know what I'm doing with the top 4 even now. It's just, the Battlehawks and Stallions, neither team looked at all impressive in a win. Both teams that lost, so they don't... Ain't no way, I did not say that. I did not say that. That is cap, Steven, that is cap. But yeah, I do think that this is either team wins. I think Houston probably does, but we'll see. Battlehawk struggles well. I mean, it's just really tough to pick who I'm going to do. Because you can make an argument that 2 teams that were better lost. It's just, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I might do a total curveball with who I have at the top 2. I don't know. I can't put the Battlehawks at 2. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know. They're probably going to be 3. I just can't put them top 2 with how bad they played against the San Antonio team that was missing. There are 2 starting running backs. Their starting QB got hurt. And, of course, naturally they're missing Cody Latimer because of a season-ending injury. And to barely win, not a fan. I'm not, yeah. Alright, so we'll close the poll once it hits 7:05. We'll close it for those of you, so we'll see. I mean, so far it's pretty close. Houston just barely ahead. This is going to be an interesting game. It really is. Let's just say, oh yeah, the playoffs are going to be very interesting, that's for sure. The playoffs are going to be really good. Because again, none of those top 4 teams are really that different from each other in terms of best to worst. I talked about it in the playoff prediction video that came out earlier today. The biggest blowout, quote-unquote, either team had was, I believe it was like week 4 or 5, right? Let me pull it up. Yeah, week 4, the Brahmas beat the Panthers by 10. That was the biggest margin of defeat for any of the top 4 teams that played each other. So when you see that, you're like, wow, these playoffs are going to be really good. They've been close all season. It'll be very interesting to see. All right, so let us end the poll. Just barely, we have Houston ahead. So we'll see if Houston pulls off the W. It'll be interesting to see. Will be. Already shaved my head. Ouch, that poll. I mean, hey, it's pretty close. The UFL playoff's going to be there. The Stallions look weak. The Brahmas are shells right now. The Battlehawks are Rusty's. Panthers might be the best team there. 3 teams won today, only 1 point. So do you think they can make this 4 games winning by a single point? I wouldn't be shocked when you consider how these teams have played all year. Will it be a single point? I would doubt it, but I would imagine it's going to be close. I mean, I believe my predicted score was 26-21 Houston, so I had this being a close game. So we'll see exactly how close it ends up being, but I do think it'll be a close game. But yeah, as for what Nope said, I agree. There is a very real argument the Panthers are the best team in the league right now. Again, it took a missed field goal, and we don't know exactly who they were starting for what reason, and they were missing Sims. I don't know. It's going to be a fun playoffs. It really is. It'll be interesting to see who makes the championship game. I think there's a very good shot we see the number 2 seeds make the 2 upsets, but we'll see. I didn't think Memphis fans would be there. I'm shocked anyone was there. I mean, hey, it's a season finale. It's for the number 1 overall pick. You're not going to have pro football again in Memphis for, another like 8 months or 9 months till the next season starts. So, yeah. First season Memphis head coach, 1-8 overall record. Yeah, John DeFilippo, that is not a good record. You do not want to see that. Let's see. I mean, Josh Love is starting. It'll be interesting to see what he does. As I've talked about as a Panthers fan, I did not like watching Josh Love. That was because he would be so hot and cold. It's just not a fan of having him one day go for like 80 completion percentage, 20 yards per attempt, and the next day do like 40 completion percentage for like 3 yards an attempt. We better be 1-9. No, G-Man, don't say that yet. Playoffs are very evenly matched. I agree. Look, even though St. Louis does have the massive advantage of playing at home field, in theory, hopefully, the Brahmas will at the very least get one of Garbers, Lovett, or McFarland back. If they get 2 of them, huge. 3 of them, really huge. So when you get 1, 2, or even 3 of those guys back, that'll help you out a ton for that game. I mean, it really will. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Notification, liked post. Love to see it. This is the season finale, by the way, for the UFL. It's a regular season, which is just hilarious. It really is. I mean, this is the final one. This is crazy. I mean, it'll be something else. This really will be. I'm gonna currently, okay, the ball is being kicked off. I'm just gonna tweet out that we are currently live. Let's see, ball is returned at the 30, and the 37-yard line-ish is where he gets to. Currently live for the toilet bowl. I just spelled currently wrong, bro. I spelled it so wrong, they didn't even give me an autocorrect for it. That's how bad I just spelled that. Let's see. 1st and 10 for Memphis. Let's see what they do here. Nice quick pass out to about the opposing's 46-yard line. Great start. When you're on kickoff, I'm on the first snap of the game. Yeah, fair. Not surprised that I'm a bit delayed. And, of course, because of the fact that, it's like I talked about, I have technically 2 delays. I have, a 10-second delay from what I'm watching and then, another 5-second delay from the fact that I'm on low latency. I'm not on ultra low, but I'm on low latency. So when I talk, it's also about, 5 seconds behind. So, overall, it's a 15, 20-second delay. Let's see. Is Flip gone next season? I wouldn't be shocked if he is, but at the same time, he did a lot of good things with New Orleans last year. I wouldn't say for sure. What Roland did as kick returner today is what Derek Dillon could have done for 6 different weeks. Fair. I predict the Las Vegas Locos will win the... That would be hilarious. I mean, hey, very small spoiler for a upcoming video in a couple months, but it would be cool to see Locos back. Just saying. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, The Super Tank Bowl, yeah, it definitely is. 1,000 people are sending loud a good play call. In love we trust. It's when you watch on streaming that's delayed, but yeah, I mean, it's like a 10-15 second delay on streaming, and then it's also like a 5-10 second delay for this stream. Like, it's the streaming of the game and the streaming on here combines for like a 20-second difference. Next year, we'll try to do it better. Oh, yeah, for sure. Antenna TV is much faster. That's going to be something I try to do probably for next season, because, like, doing this in a week, I mean, changing my setup for that, I can't really do that. But for next season, I will try to get an antenna TV, like, to a point where I can do it with a headset and all that, and it'll be better next year. They need to fire both coaches. CJ for sure, DeFilippo, I'd have to have a good argument. Like, I'd have to hear a good argument for why to keep him. But if he's gone, not too shocked. Lol, I agree, Steven. I agree fully. You don't want those old people to come back, but the old team, sure. 7.3 penalties per game, not good. Let's see, Memphis is at 1st and 10 at about the 27-yard line. Fake the handoff, quick pass out to the right, and it's about a 7-yard gain. Great play right there. Memphis is going downfield. We've seen this before. It'll be interesting to see if they can keep this up, but at least for now, it's a very good start for them. Only for Memphis to get an early lead before another rug pull. That would suck to see, but it wouldn't be surprising to see. That's the worst part about it, that's for sure. So you might hear me react to something that ain't showing. Hey, it happens. It is what it is, but next year I'll try to get it better for sure. Another great pass right there for a first down. This is a really good opening drive for Josh Love. Again, like I said, Josh Love has that potential to be a very good player. The issue is his consistency was even worse than the biggest Dormady and EJ Perry haters would say they had. Josh Love last year had 2 games. He was unbelievable. The rest of the season, he was either insanely mid or he was awful. There's no, like, good or bad game. It's either incredible, mediocre, terrible. That's the issue with Josh Love. Right now, he's looking in his incredible form. We'll see if he continues it. 1st and 10 at 12 minutes left. Does a quick handoff, about a 3-yard gain for the second down. Let's see, 2nd and 7 now. Definitely a big play right here. Let's see what happens. Love drops back. He's going to move up. He dodges a couple sacks. Flag on the field. Probably offensive holding. Throws the ball away. Smart throwing the ball away, but probably going to be out. AJ's a little rough. St. Louis QB still banged up. May be better next week. Ain't no way bro got bumped by his own lineman. AJ's just a little rusty, I think. Nah, AJ's definitely dealing with a little bit of injury. But at the same time, San Antonio hit him a lot, especially low. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how healthy he is next year. I just realized the OC for the show was his former NFL RB, Doug Martin. Dude, Doug Martin. I forgot about him. I need Josh Love playing like he's up against the Philadelphia Stars. At least I'm pretty sure it was that team that he looked good. I think it might be. I think it was. I think it was like week 1 he looked really good against them. I think you're right about that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think so. Yes. All right, let's see. 2nd and 17. Not where you want to be. And an immediate sack. Big play right there. Ball is out. And it looks like because of the fumble, he might have still ended up actually gaining yards thanks to his offensive lineman. So, hey, if it works, it works. Who would even be a prospect that would go number 1 in this draft? A guy like, always use this example since this is the obvious one. Jarrett Horst, offensive lineman of the Michigan Panthers, was the number 1 overall pick in the USFL college draft last year when the USFL had it. And that was naturally because of a very similar situation. So it's usually a guy that would probably still be on the board at 2, but it's a guy that has a very real shot at playing in this league, but is still a better player. You know, like a lower tier All-American guy type of guy. Let's see, quick pass down the middle. Papele gets about 7-8 yards, it looked like. Gonna have to kick a field goal. Still a very solid opening drive. They were able to go downfield. Couple bad breaks for them early on that final. area, but still, a field goal is a field goal. They should be happy with that. 37 people watching. Post this on Twitter. I currently see 15. I think it's got total views that, but currently it's 15. Let's see, viewer activity. Why do I have viewer activity on not telling me anything? I love this. Waterboy's the team MVP. Hey, don't say that. I mean, fair, but that's mean. Currently answering a couple comments on YouTube from the newest video that came out like an hour and a half ago. An hour and 15 minutes ago. Let's see, is there any more posts on here? Family. Daisley's makes me miss the AF. Where are you, Charlie Ebersol? What a weird tweet to see. I don't know. This is a good day, I think. Let's see. I thought he was gonna cough and miss. I feel like the UFL draft should be young players didn't get NFL. I mean, that's what the college draft was. The college draft was drafting guys who were going to be eligible pretty much and just drafting the rights to them pretty much. Very solid way of doing it. I think that's definitely a good thing. Memphis is now 15-17. That's a really good number for field goal percentage. Nope is always throwing shade on Memphis. Showboats score first if they... Nice seeing you, Royce. I think it's the first time I've seen you in the chat here. On any of these streams. Showboats score first. If they can keep the lead, I'll go 5-5 my best today. I remember seeing that. Yeah, you were going off on those today. I was talking about it earlier. For my Fox Super 6 picks, I'm like Justin Hall having a great game and a Houston win away from getting every one of my picks except the Brahmas Battlehawk score right, which I'll finish like top 50, which will be fun, but it is what it is. Updated point differential, Memphis minus 100. This chat brutal. I understand, G-Man. They'll get a safety like the Renegades game. That'd be hilarious. How does the UFL draft work? I would assume it's going to work very similarly to like the USFL college draft, where essentially they're going to draft players who are either in the NFL, who are like rookies in the NFL or going to be in the NFL, kind of, and you're drafting for their rights, meaning that if they decide to go to the UFL, they go to a specific team. Like last year we saw Adrian Martinez, Jarrett Horst, Gunnar Oaks get drafted to teams, and some guys would come in during that season and some came in this year to the team that drafted them. So it's more of a player rights draft than it is drafting a player who will be on the team. So some of these guys that'll get drafted you might not ever see on the team, and some of them you might see later that season or in a year. That's kind of how it's going to work if it works like how the last couple of drafts work. All right, Houston return is up to the 35, and he goes out of bounds. Nolan Henderson is out for QB. This is definitely fun to see. Yeah, let's put the stream back on. Okay. The Showboats have sunk a long time ago. Me watching college highlights on YouTube after some guy gets drafted in the NFL. Lol, that's some Ghetto Gronk meme right there. That's true, though. The Oils... Bro, the Lusitania versus the ExxonMobil oil spills is actually such a good description of this. NFL should definitely take notes for this last UFL game. The winning team gets the first pick. I mean, to be fair, it has to be a perfect storm, which this year was, where you have the two worst teams playing. But if that's the situation, I fully agree. Beach ball ass helmets, lol. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Houston team. I know some people call it a hot take. I think the Houston helmets is not that cool. Still think the Memphis team should adopt the Mauler's name next year and adopt Pitbull, junkyard mascot, show some teeth. My man's went flying. Please take me back to autumn. I need a heavy dose of cheese to get over this. Thomas wins. That's a good one. That's a good one, G-Man. I mean, hey, at least you got one team. Hey, you know what? I'm happy. My Real Madrid won the Champions League. My Mavericks are in the finals. So I'm happy now. Ask me in 2 months. I won't be happy watching Carolina Panthers football, but at least for now I'm doing good. Quick pass by Nolan to the left. First down. Solid play right there. That just 1 yard shy of the 50. I risked my life savings on Houston because you said they were going to win. I do think Houston wins this game. I love the joke, but I think it's true. Houston is just... I don't see them losing this. I think Memphis has a shot, but I think Houston's just a better team. I like the Houston helmets because it's the Texas flag. That's fair. I do get the argument. I just think that is a design choice. It's not the best, in my opinion. Team's holding... Live stream, that was on the wrong thing. Not a joke. I risked 22K. Bruh, ain't no way. Alright, another one. Thank God Ghetto Gronk doesn't make UFL memes. I don't want to think about it with YouTube. Oh, he would annihilate the boats. Every week he'd annihilate them, that's for sure. He would just be insane. That is 100% true. I mean, this is... I agree. It would be crazy if Ghetto Gronk did it. Henderson, 2-man in the backfield, some motion, quick handoff. Fakes the handoff. Quick pass. Gonna be a first down. And more. 20. 15. Houston's driving. They're getting really close to getting a TD. That's for sure. This is definitely really good. What's your IG? I sent the screenshot. The exact same thing I got on here. Just Zomb Phox UFL. Houston's in the red zone. I like the logo of the Houston teams, but not the blue side and the red side mix. Reminds me of the Jaguars with the gold blind helmets. I'm thinking about U-Tree style videos about the UFL. That'd be a fun idea, honestly. Do something like that. If you can do that, that'd be honestly a good thing. You know, some of that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I do with the Tank Bowl, but not to the exact degree. But yeah, even a game in Memphis like USFL Week 1 always has a different vibe. True. Quick handoff, about a 3-yard gain. The UFL should do a retro week like the CFL. The XFL teams plus Houston should use their 2020 uniforms. USL should use the 90s uniforms. Memphis should replace Carnell. Like with Jaron Horton. Jaron Horton was a beast last year as DC for Maulers. I do not disagree with that. Memphis next year should get better time slots. Yeah, their time slots were pretty bad this year. A lot of like 11 p.m. like Central Time starts. Not good. Let's see. I do think the retro would be definitely a cool thing, that's for sure. Now I've got nostalgia for that amazing Gamblers vs. Showboats game in prime time last season. There were some good games last year. Horton should lead a team. I agree for sure. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, my thing is definitely for sure a bit messed up. Yeah, nice touchdown for Houston, but yeah. Justin Hall, I do need Justin Hall to get a lot of receptions to get my Fox Super 6 pick correct, that's for sure. But yeah, Houston with the lead, massive play right there. Big TD by Justin Hall, who's been very good this year. Just like last year, kind of one of those guys that never gets talked about a ton, but is still a very solid player all in all. Throwback unis would go hard for sure. Can't wait for the Maulers to be reinstated so they can wear the peanut butter and jelly throwbacks. Oh my god, dude. Would be pretty crazy. Let's see, we have a challenge maybe? How positive are you Houston wins? I think Houston has probably like a 70% chance, if not higher. I just think that Houston is... Memphis just gets blown out way too much. Now, with Josh Love starting, there's a massive question, but Nolan Henderson's just been such a fun QB to watch. I think Houston does win this game, but I don't think it's like a slam dunk, the same sense of like Memphis versus Michigan was a couple weeks ago. But because I thought this would be a 5-point game. That's what my prediction video I had. This is a 5-point game, so I do think it'll be a close one, just one that Houston does pull off the W. Houston's super challenge is going to be good. They will take the touchdown. Did Houston already score? Houston did, but it's going to be taken off. They're still going to be very much in TD/field goal range, but the actual touchdown is getting taken off. So they'll probably have to kick a field goal to tie it, but we'll see. That was a good super challenge. I get it was very early, but it's better for it to work than to waste it in something that doesn't work. I know we saw it earlier today for sure. Houston in close games don't mix well. That's true, but I mean, we did see that with Memphis a couple times this year too, that especially week 2 against the Brahmas, a few weeks ago against Michigan. So yeah. All right, so Houston's at 2nd and 19. They still definitely can get a field goal. It's just a question of what they can do. But it looks like Henderson is about to get hit with a big sack, and that's, yeah. They're going to have to kick a field goal probably here, tie the game up. Bob Stoops, yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Henderson looking so good so far. If you had to start an expansion team, would you go Nolan Henderson, T. Will, Bryce Perkins, or Jalen McClendon? I really like McClendon, but Perkins has been... That's a good question. Honestly, any of those 4 QBs could be really good as a starter. I think T. Will, we saw him actually pretty much carry a team. Yes, he did fail in the championship game. That was a bad game, but he has been good. Bryce Perkins looks really good. McClendon is so... I really like McClendon, but I would go probably with T. Will, then Perkins or McClendon, then Henderson 4th. Were you shocked by getting a DC game? DC should have won that, honestly. Yeah, DC choked. I mean, let's be very clear. DC definitely choked. I mean, the Renegades gave you 2 points and the ball back. By the way, it's 4th and 2 now. Gave you the ball back and 2 points, and you immediately went 3 and out. I mean, that whole 4th quarter, the DC offense did basically nothing. And it's not even like the Renegades defense was on the field for like a little bit. I mean, the Renegades offense, when they went on, immediately scored, then went right back off. That was a horrid game by DC at the end. Definitely a big choke job. I fully agree with you, Ken. For sure. Houston wastes a timeout. So they've got to go for it. You do not call a timeout to just... Nah, they have to go for it. You don't waste a timeout for a 5-yard difference. I'm so happy about St. Louis, TBH. I was stressing so much at the end. St. Louis also shouldn't have won that game. They did win it. You got to give them credit for winning. But, man, that was an ugly win. But, hey, they got the W. They're going to have home field advantage for the conference championship, which is huge for sure. Man, I hate typing sideways. I really do. All right, let's go back here. The crowd is loud. You got to love that. Yeah, I do agree, for sure. The championship is going to San Antonio. Are you going to make a video about what the UFL can do to help attendance? That will be during the offseason. That will be something I will do in the offseason. I have a couple offseason videos already planned. In fact, I already have a lot of stuff for one that was actually suggested by Steven, who was in chat, that I have the images ready for it. But yes, one of them is going to be what to do about attendance. There's a lot of things they can do to make it better, and they definitely need to do them. So I do have a video that I will do. I don't know when it'll come out, but it will be during the offseason. Well, they're going to go for it in 4th and 2. They kind of have to, because you don't just use... I mean, if they had kicked it after using a timeout, that'd have been really bad. Honestly, that'd have been a terrible use of a timeout, but we'll see if it works. I mean, it's only like They have to get 2 yards. Come on. Let's see. Quick handoff, and they get stopped immediately. It is short, and they turn over the ball. Best offense in the league, Curtis Johnson's team did not get 2 yards. Yeah. Sometimes you kick a field goal. Sometimes you do that. Houston already scored their streams behind. No, they scored, and then it got taken off. They scored, and then it got taken off from a challenge. So it's now 3-0. Memphis has the lead. St. Louis back-to-back home games. And hey, if they win it, back-to-back home games is going to be insane. When you think about the kind of football fans that exist in Philly, it's a good thing the Stars aren't in the UFL right now. I'm definitely... Memphis 3-0 lead currently, but now they're all the way backed up their own 10-yard line. And first play is going to be about a 3-yard loss for Memphis. Planning on making a little cow on Houston 2BH? I would. I mean, whoever loses this game deserves a little cow. I mean, they both do, but whoever loses this for sure. I mean, hey, when Philly had all those teams choke in the end, Stars there was pretty funny. Breakers need to come back eventually. Yep, I agree. The next 2 years, Breakers should be back. Basically, whenever the first expansion rolls out, they should be back. Thanks for your coverage, bud. No problem. I really do enjoy doing these streams. Just couldn't do the one a couple weeks ago because of timing of everything I was doing, but glad to be doing one a week, basically, since I started it. And like I said, I will be doing one next week with the Stars. The Stallions versus the Panthers, so that'll be fun. I agree with Michael. I agree with both of you for sure. You make the game fun to watch, especially these tank bowls, because these tank bowls are like, I mean, yes, we're all rooting for a team, but let's be clear, this is not, a game where somebody's turning on this stream because they really care about the play-by-play. They're here mainly to just joke about the tank bowl. So it's always a lot more fun to do these kind of games, though next week will also be fun since that's very much I'm definitely going to be biased towards one team. So we'll see. Yeah, 3rd and 7 for Memphis. Quick pass in the middle, and it is incomplete. Houston will be getting the ball back after the punt. I don't know if I'm going to switch back to the Breakers or stick with the Battlehawks when New Orleans returns. I mean, hey, why not both? I mean, if you are a fan for 2 different teams, you have twice the shot of rooting for a team that's good. Do you think will the UFL be as big as the NFL one day? Oh, definitely not, but they definitely could be as big as, technically they still got to get to as big as, the AAF was before it folded. But I do think they can definitely get to being in the distant future. If they're able to stick around, they could become as big as, the XFL was that one year in, 2001, where they had pretty huge numbers overall. But I don't think it'll be as big as the NFL, but it will definitely be much bigger than we've seen before, as long as they can stick around. Kind of weird how in 2022, all those Philly teams win the championship and lose. Yeah, the Stars, the Phillies... I believe the Sixers choked in the conference finals. And I think there's one other team that also choked pretty bad. I think that was the Eagles, yeah. Yeah, especially if the 8-team rumor is true, I would imagine 2026. Yeah, literally about to say that what Gregory said. If the rumors are true, which again, we've only heard it from UFL News Hub. Well, I actually saw it from Moose. If it's true, no expansion 2025, expansion 2026. That means in 2026, you can bring back the Breakers to the Shrine. I definitely see the Breakers coming back in 2 years. Will they be like the G League? I said it's a good one, but probably more of a professional-style league in a sense that it's a bit more overall exposure than the G League and much less directly tied to the NFL. That's kind of how I view it. I already saw that. 2BH, I really want a competition in pro football. The NFL needs it. They've lost to a degree their quality control. That's true. They really have for sure. There's definitely some things that are just not good in terms of their stuff. Mainly the rule changes they're doing, banning the hip drop tackle. I went on a tangent before. I'll just keep it very small, this tangent. You're playing football, okay? If you think you're going to play football and never get hurt, why are you playing football? The hip drop tackle should not be banned. That's a terrible move for it to be banned. Shouldn't be banned at all. Need to bring it back. Expansion must be slow and deliberate so they don't outgrow themselves talent. But looking back at the past 3, 2 teams called the Tanks. One the Ironton, the other in Louisville. Fax Breton. There's a reason they call the UFL real football. That's true. I also, the refs, you hear what they're saying. You hear them talk to the control room. That needs to be in the NFL. Looking back to the past, yeah, Tanks. Man, if there was a team called the Tanks now, when they're losing, oh my god, that'd be horrid. How are defenses supposed to stop tight ends out the hip drop tackle? Or like Derrick Henry, right? Like imagine like a safety trying to tackle Derrick Henry. Oh my god. They're showing the Daryl Johnston clip. Let's go Moose. Talking about the first overall pick. To think this is the second time he's doing this in 3 years is hilarious. What do you think would happen if a player like Mahomes went to the UFL? That would be crazy. If, for instance, if a top tier player were to go to the UFL, they would be nerfed in a sense that they're throwing to guys who are less talented than who they normally throw to, but they'd still be incredible. So yeah, if you had like a guy like Mahomes or Hill in the UFL, they would for sure dominate. Would they be able to carry a team to the championship? Probably. That's what I think. To have any shot at competing with the NFL, the UFL needs a salary cap. Yeah, I mean, the UFL is never going to compete with the NFL, but in terms of just getting better talent, yes, eventually they do need a salary cap, but they need it to be a hard salary cap where you can't go over. That way you can get some better players, because some players who would be in the UFL aren't, because why would I go play in the UFL for like 50 grand a year when I can be a practice squad guy and make over, like 200 grand? Mahomes would be complaining about getting hit too. If you were the UFL, which teams or cities would you expand to? Would you expand to city lost NFL teams? Stay away from NFL cities. I do have a video on that coming up during the offseason, kind of. But I will say this. I think that the NFL city talk is a bit overblown. I think you can have a UFL team in an NFL city and have it work. It's more so about your spring competition as well as just the overall city itself. That's how I would view it. So I do think that some places are definitely okay going to it. That's my thoughts. If you were refs mic'd up the NFL, no, pick up the flag. I put my house on the Chiefs. Injured Showboats, hate to see it. What's your unit size? Don't know. What do you mean by unit size? I'm probably just in that mood where I just can't realize what you're saying. Good point, man. Higher salaries. Yeah, I know that they're trying not to pay a lot now. They're doing the argument of, well, where else are you going to go argument. But yes, at some point they definitely need slightly higher salaries. That's for sure. They definitely need it. Oh, that's okay. Well, if you think about it, season 4 of spring football, they reference the other seasons a lot, both XFL and USFL. I mean, in that regard, it's technically the 5th season, just with one season that didn't really count, 2019 AEF. But yeah, if you're talking about just them being intertwined, technically, yes. Though, as always talked about, I really don't view the 2020 XFL as the exact same league as the XFL 2023. It was a different time before COVID, so it's hard to view it as the exact same, just in my opinion. They definitely need a UFL team in Omaha. I mean, hey, there's a former UFL team that was in Omaha, just saying. San Diego, New York, New Jersey, and Salt Lake City, everyone wants the Seattle Dragons come out, but they have to drop C, and I don't think they're colored. And I think they need to color them. Yeah, they need to go back to the Dragons. The Seattle Dragons went much harder than Seattle Sea Dragons. Salt Lake City, it'll be interesting because the AAF had the benefit of being new for spring football, and the Salt Lake Stallions really didn't even do that good there. So that one, I don't know for sure, but the other ones, yeah, they do need teams in a lot of those places. Plumbers and mailmen haven't been playing pro football since World War II, and the Showboats online. Bro, that's so mean to say to your own team. We talked about that the other day, actually. Yeah, the more I think about it, I do agree that Omaha Nighthawks definitely should be in the UFL. Them and probably the Locomotives both should for sure be in this league at some point, if they can get the trademarks and all that. And I have a team in Omaha called the Bobcats. San Jose Vipers. Yeah, move the Vipers again, why not, honestly. But yeah, I do have a video that, again, will come out during the offseason at some point, which does talk about a lot of these former teams in different leagues and, potentially returning, should they, mainly. It'll be fun. I earned the right to shit on my own team. I have the gall to root for them. True, but at the same token, you at least get the benefit of the Kansas City Chiefs, right? You get to at least, be a Chiefs fan who gets the W's, right? So, at least you have that. San Jose Stingrays, let's go Showboats. They sucked in Vegas. San Jose Vipers sound so much cooler. Orlando Vipers. Hey, they were in Tampa Bay, put them in Orlando, and then put them in Jacksonville. You get the holy trinity of spring football teams in Florida. All right, well, currently, Houston, it is still a 3-0 game. We are at 2nd and 11 with a minute and 34 seconds left. Houston is at the 36-yard line. They do a quick handoff, and Henderson should have kept that on the option. They end up gaining basically nothing. Pain in January, Ravens fan. Yeah, Baltimore really... I was hoping they'd win too. Big Lamar fan, but it is what it is. Should move to cities that woo them, not force themselves in cities that have no interest. That's a fair point. That's why I think that Columbus and Omaha are such big ones, because people are actually watching, those teams, watching the UFL, so they should definitely be there for sure. The Oakland Invaders, as extraterrestrials, you would have so much promotion. You would have a lot of promotions. But I do say their old logo went really hard. That was a great logo. All right, Henderson does a horde throw. Yeah, that was bad. A very underthrown pass. Intercepted. Memphis will get the ball near the 50-yard line. Cards fans, Ravens fan, O's fan. Ooh, an O's fan. Yikes. Cards fan, dude. I'm assuming you're talking about the St. Louis Cardinals. Well, actually, no, I don't know. I mean, well, which Cards? Because, there's two of them. And, yeah. It's intercepted. Yep, Louisville Cards, by the way. Okay, yeah, Louisville. There we go. Okay. Louisville Cardinals, got it. Yeah, you had the benefit then. You were a Ravens fan, and you had, Lamar Jackson go there. Definitely helped. Nice pick. Season highlight number 10. Oh, that's bad, but true. The Oakland Invaders logo looks like an NFL, and it's a badass logo. Dude, of all the old logos from, all those previous leagues, honestly, I think the Oakland one is probably my favorite. The Invaders logo was just... It's one of those that isn't super simple, but is super effective. That was a great logo. I would love to see that return in the modern day. No changes. I think that's a logo that should just come back the way they are. They're seeing where the strip is after the interception. Yeah, they probably would change it. That's for sure. They would. Hey, they changed the Stars and Gamblers logo for no real reason. Why wouldn't they? Let's see, anything else currently getting posted on here? Bunch of Bob Stoops talking about the team on X. Love to see that. Here we go, okay. Houston recovered. This is bad. Imagine they changed the Oakland Invaders to black and silver. That would be comical. But again, the old jerseys also went hard. I really loved. Basically, the branding of the Oakland Invaders was definitely my favorite for the USFL. They had those light blue and yellow jerseys that were just awesome. They were great. New Jersey Commanders again. Oh no. NFL offseason is a double pain for me. I don't get to watch the Chiefs, and I have to watch the Showboats play with worse than a high school team. Lol. Boats fans are loud and proud. Hey, the fans that are there definitely do love the team. Lol Boats moment if they lost this pick. I refuse to call Twitter X. Yeah, I mainly call it Twitter, sometimes X, but yeah. I think the Roughnecks foot was out. Yeah, it was a close one, but the ball is going to Memphis, but again, we'll see if Memphis can actually do something with it. So yeah. San Diego Thunderbolts. Hey, there was a team in Portland, I believe, called the Thunderbolts a long time ago. I like this Gunslinger's identity, but hated the logo. Yeah, the logo was way too much for a logo. I think it was a full dude, with a pistol and all that, and it's you trying way too hard at that logo. Definitely not the best. Changes for next season. Permanently use the Renegades Bandit logo. Hard agree. The Renegades normal logo is probably the weakest in the league. Also tell Memphis to fix the boat. True. The Thunderbolts in the old XFL. Oh, that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of the Portland team. I was thinking of, they were the Storm? Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking of. But yeah, I forgot about the Thunderbolts in the XFL. Yeah, I'm assuming Steven knows what I'm talking about when I say I have a video coming out during the off season talking about old teams because he's the one that had the idea for it. But yeah, I'm kind of in that, like, I just saw every single logo and I'm kind of like, I was looking at like 60 plus logos for over an hour and a half. So if I'm mixing up a couple of the logos, that's probably why. I was at week 4 of the St. Louis game and was a diehard for the Showboats. I remember you talking about that was something else. Why didn't you call them the New Jersey Red? IFL has the San Antonio Gunslingers. Yeah, there are a couple teams, believe it or not, for those you don't know, that also, like, there's the Northern Arizona Wranglers. You know, there were the Arizona Wranglers. The IFL has the Northern Arizona one. And I think there's another team like that that has it. I know, like, a Chicago Blitz or, like, an X-League team. But, yeah, Portland's WFL teams are Thunder and Storm. Okay, that's why I thought it was Thunderbolts. I remember Portland had a couple teams that were different names. The Austin Armadillos. I love the OG USFL branding. A lot of those teams are really good, for sure. Like, I mean, if it wasn't for the fact we had a Renegades team, the Orlando Renegades would be a good one, but yeah. Lost 0-8 to the Duke City Gladiators. Wow, a low-scoring game in the IFL. I mean, I don't watch a ton of the IFL, but I do keep up with it very minorly, but yeah. Redskins was too much, but Blackhawks is an okay. It is what it is, isn't it? I mean, hey, it's because not too many people care about hockey. That's the real reason, because it's hockey, so we need the Bulls back. I agree. I think that everybody keeps talking about we need teams in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Forget about Jacksonville. Portland also had an AFL team called the Thunder back in the 2010s. Yeah, I know there's another team as well. Like, it's just some of these teams kind of get brought back, you know, with trademarks being abandoned and all that in different leagues. It's pretty good. Would Albuquerque be a good market? I know a lot of people I've seen have mentioned that as a potential one. It's one of those untapped markets, and it's one of those where it's a legit question on whether or not it's should you go to a place that doesn't have any major team or should you not? Like, is it worth it? I don't know. I think it could work for sure, though. Could always move Arlington to Orlando and adopt the Apollos logo to confuse people. That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. The Orlando Renegades with the Apollos logo would be hilarious. I agree. To the E. Red Wolves or Boston Brawlers would be nice. Red Wolves was such a good name. I really would like to see some team have that. That'd be a good one. Blackhawks can just change their logo to a helicopter. True. That's true, honestly. Bandits does have a solid fan base. Yeah, a lot of people still upset their team got beat out for Memphis. To the Vegas Virgins, I don't think that would be allowed. No, it wouldn't, but that'd be hilarious. The Jacksonville Bulls, classic team. Definitely would love to see them back one day. I like Albuquerque as a market. I do think it's a risky one, but there's a reason why some of those work. The Omaha Nighthawks and the, old UFL can work. All right, the quick handoff is immediately tackled. Memphis is going to lose probably about like 5 or 6 yards in that. Going to be a long third down for them. Definitely not good for them. We need to call a team the Barons. The Apollos had a great logo, but that name was horrid. I never understood as I kept thinking it was a New York theater. Watch the league get the Vegas Virgins and the Memphis Predators. Oh my god. 3rd and 11 here for good old Josh Love. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, that was definitely a very dangerous pass. Could have been intercepted, but it's going to be a punt. Still 3-0. Yeah, definitely not going the best for either team, really, but it is what it is again. Thankfully, maybe you have a team in VB because it's close to where a flight was invented. You could call them the Barons. You could. This is what makes a Tank Bowl stream so good. The random things that just that happen is would a Virginia Beach be a market? I think that the whole Virginia, North Carolina market does need a team. There's just so little in terms of it. Like, in NC, I can tell you that a lot of NC people are Atlanta Braves fans because that's kind of the team that's close by a region. But, like, to have an actual team would definitely be a really cool thing for this area and NC and Virginia to have. So I do think a team there would be good. The Chicago Skyscrapers, honestly, W name. I wouldn't be against that. I do think it's going to be interesting to see if we see the Fox numbers like we saw earlier in regards to the, markets that had good viewership. The same way where it was just a random, like, out of nowhere. I do think it'd be interesting to see if cities like Columbus and Omaha are still up there, because if they are, then they definitely deserve teams potentially. Raleigh needs a team bad. Yeah, Raleigh would get a team. I would lose a few $100s of money because it would be all going to season tickets and a bunch of merch. So yes, I would love a team in Raleigh. And I mean, hey, they could call themselves like the Wolves, the Red Wolves, and I mean, hey, they could play Carter Finley Stadium. I believe it's Carter Finley is where NC State plays. The Wolfpack, call yourselves like the Red Wolves or just the Wolves, and you instantly gravitate towards the NC State fan base. So I think it'd be a good idea. New Jersey Trumps is hilarious. Milwaukee Robins, Milwaukee would be a tough market though. Yeah, that's one I do not think. I never hear anyone mention Milwaukee, and I think that's one of those, like, there's probably a reason. Keep coming to our games. No, don't say that. Bro, I'm not happy. I'm sorry. I think we should have let Brenda Moore walk. I'm sorry. The same issue has been the power play disappearing in the postseason and mismanagement of the goalie. Those are not issues on Waddle, our GM. That is issues involving our head coach not fixing issues. I would have liked to see us go a different direction at head coach. But maybe new GM will fix it. We'll see. The league better embrace the wacky part of things. I mean, hey, the XFL did a good job with the beer snake last year. You got to give them credit for that. And things like that are definitely, the shirtless pyramid, if they're able to start marketing that. Things like that are what the UFL needs to do. Traditions that teams are adopting, go for it. Get some merch about the beer snake. Get merch about the shirtless pyramid. If you do things like that, that'll help out the league for sure. Carter Finley is a good stadium. It is. I haven't been to a game there, but I've been near it because I've been to multiple Hurricanes games for sure. Ban that guy that owns the Carolina Hurricanes. Good old Thomas Dundon. Don't worry, I'll bail the AAF out. Proceeds to not bail the AAF out. Anthony Beck showing up out of nowhere. If they were to get a Wolfpack team, would use a similar helmet to the Washington Wolfpack, the AFL this year. Those are crazy designs. I'll have to look at that. That might be something else for sure. Let me see. The Washington Wolfpack. Washington Wolfpack. Oh, I've seen those helmets. Yeah, those helmets are really crazy. I have seen those. I just saw the logo. I didn't even need to see the helmets. I know what team you're talking about. Anthony Beck thinks he's on the main cast right now. Would LNN be too big for a Louisville UFL team? I mean, hey, the UFL has teams playing in Ford Field. I get that they're thinking about moving out of Ford Field, but as long as you're still in some of those big stadiums, why not? I mean, they're thinking about going to Ann Arbor, so why not? Portland should get a team. I've heard people talk about Portland. Don't give Lee Hutton a team. Oh, no. Not Lee Hutton. The logo covers the entire helmet. I have seen those helmets before. I don't remember where I saw them, but I just had to see the logo, and I'm like, oh, I know exactly what team you're talking about. They have crazy helmets. You gotta love, though, how little Fox is caring about this game. They're putting an Anthony Beck interview talking about the Battlehawks in the middle of this game. Which is hilarious. North Dakota, that dome is nice. I have heard people talk about North Dakota as a market that could be, or I don't remember which Dakota, but Dakota being a good market. Again, it's an untapped area that could work. There's the argument there's a reason NFL teams and all that aren't there, but it could work for sure. What do you think about the Chicago Bears adopting the new animal logo instead of the C? I'm a Bears fan, but I think it's past time to adopt a new logo so they could wear the C as a retro helmet. I mean, it's one of those things that's about marketing, right? I mean, so many of these teams nowadays are adding all these changes specifically to get you to buy stuff. So is it really to change the logo to change it, or is it mainly just to get more money? I'm not against having it, but I don't think so. Chicago Bears logo. Yeah, Fox and Ross care about the game. I mean, hey, it's a tank bowl. It is what it is. Dan Snyder going to want a UFL team. Oh, no. Boise, Ohio, Dakota Rough Riders. 2nd and 20 for Houston with 11 minutes and 50 seconds. Man, I thought this game was going to hit the over. It does not look like it's going to hit the over. I will say, it's just having back-to-back days of back-to-back, one game on ABC, one game on Fox, or like ESPN, you know what I mean? It's just, dude, Fox broadcasts are so much better. They really are. I mean, dude, I remember they were talking about, like, the Nate McCreary prop bet, like, unironically, like, 6 times. And I'm like, dude, this many people care about the Nate McCreary prop bet that Stormy has. Like, I'm sorry. And it was all the time. Dude, the Fox broadcasts are so much better. What about a team in Louisville? I think it could work. Basically, I mean, it could work for sure. Especially anywhere that doesn't have, like, an NHL, MLB, NBA, like, multiple teams could legitimately work very well. Having it in a place that has them all is very risky. So I could see Louisville. It's just, it'll be interesting what to see. I think that the consensus that we saw a few weeks ago, though, personally, I think is a really good one. New Orleans, Columbus, Omaha, I think those are really solid places to add a team as a starting, I think. I think that when you have an area that people are watching, despite not having a team, you're basically saying, hey, if you give them a team, they hopefully will come to the games. The Iowa Defense Hawks versus just call them the Sword with Wings. Have the Battlehawks and the Sword with Wings, but have the Sword with Wings have an actual, like, bird as a logo. It'd be hilarious. Incomplete, going to be 3rd and 20 for Houston. Chicago UFL could play there. People would love a team in Des Moines. As a Hawkeyes fan, they could use a pro team. As someone who lives around Louisville, our identity is caring about ourselves and being vocal. I hope a team would work here. This is definitely a tank bowl. It is for sure. They're still interviewing Anthony Beck. For those of you who aren't watching the game or just here on the stream, they're still interviewing him. This is hilarious, though, seeing Anthony Beck during an interview. I mean, I can't remember them doing this for any other game, and they're doing it now. Yeah, flag on the play. Just post it on X. Let me see if they're what I remember. Yeah, these logos they go hard. I'm going to put the most basic response to here, but it's true. Oh, by the way, it looks like James Larson is saying that Skip Holtz also will be hopping onto the broadcast later as well. So we'll see if that happens. But yeah, according to Larson, we're not just going to be seeing Beck during this game, which is, again, hilarious that we're seeing that. The Commanders have released Brandon McManus among his sexual assault violation accusation. Back here. The fact they're still interviewing Beck is amazing. True. Oklahoma City could get the Roughnecks if they relocate. Oklahoma would be a good place to go. Mike Tomlin would fit right in. Not even 2 teams in the same conference. Most logical city from the plan that are Tulsa. Speaking of Tomlin, is a crazy NFL anomaly. Yep, never having a losing season is crazy. Now Skip about to be here if they do not care. This is a star-studded super tank bowl. It really is. It really is. Oklahoma City or Tulsa. I say those are both good cities, but I think that in terms of safe or the best would probably be New Orleans, Omaha, or Columbus, just because when you're seeing those areas, or Canton. I mean, people hate the Canton talk, but it's true. I mean, from what everyone knows, the USL had a steal of a deal with Tom Benson Stadium, so if you can get a team there for cheap, why not? I'm convinced that if Tomlin got fired, no other NFL team would want him. I feel like I could see that. I mean, we saw Belichick, everybody's not wanting to hire him. I could see that. But, I mean, Tomlin's one of those guys who, no matter what he has, he's still able to pull off, a decent season, which is hilarious. I mean, he put Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph into a winning season. I mean, I don't know if there's any other coach that could do that. Houston and Memphis both need to do what Tulane did in 2022 when they played the Yankees over at Tulane Stadium, and Fox is something like, do you mind? Hall of Fame is massive. We would go to the UFL then, bring back Canton Bulldogs, then never lose again. I think that Canton team, I wouldn't be shocked if we got a Canton team during the first expansion. As long as you have the USFL people who have that good connection with them, you'll never be out of getting a deal in Canton. And again, if you can get a stadium deal really cheap, why wouldn't you? I mean, really. I mean, some of those Maulers games, we're not saying they had like 5K, but some of those Maulers games had over a couple thousand of people at the game with no real home team. So if you can get a team like the Canton Bulldogs, if they're able to get that trademark, I wouldn't be against bringing that team back. I would honestly like to see that. Tomlin's ceiling is a question. He doesn't really have great playoff success recently. That is true. It's one of those things where is it more so his ceiling is low? Is it more so his team's ceiling is low? Again, you're putting out guys like, Kenny Pickett. I never thought Kenny Pickett was that guy. Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, the two guys I mentioned earlier, those are like your 4 best QBs you've had in the past couple of years. Admittedly, it's pretty hard to win a playoff game when you're trotting out like Mason Rudolph as your starting QB. Always a winner, never a contender. Yeah, especially because the one issue is that when it's the issue I have with Dak Prescott and why I think he is the most overrated QB and one of the worst QBs to have in your roster. I think Dak Prescott objectively is the worst QB to have as your starter. The reason is he will always do good enough to have you beat bad teams. But the second you need him to actually do something, he will choke. So you're stuck in that purgatory where you never get a top pick in the draft, but you never get far in the playoffs. That's the issue with a guy like Dak, and what many people think the issue is with Tomlin. You're never bad enough to get huge help in the draft. You're never good enough to actually make a deep run. That's how I view it. It didn't help that Pickett had Matt Canada for an offensive coordinator. That's true, but even when Canada was gone, I mean, Rudolph did look better. Like, when both of them played without him, I still think, who would want to discuss a game like this? We as a chat aren't even discussing it. I mean, hey, it's a live stream with a game in the background. Memphis drops back does a quick handoff for no gain. I mean, to be fair, this game has been a 3-0 game. We are 20 minutes into it, and we have had the most drama was, the touchdown getting overturned, and since then, basically nothing has happened, so it's pretty hard to talk about it. This isn't like, earlier today where, like, every drive had some sort of, like, oh my god, that was crazy, whether it be the 3 and out, whether it be the safety, the late touchdowns, and all that. With Dak, he just never learned from Brady to deflate the football a little. Nope is out for blood. Even the Fox teams came Memphis is on the move. Josh Lowe's playing like a quarterback of all time. First down for Memphis. They are driving a bit, but we'll see. I mean, dude, 7 of 9 for 39 yards is one of the stat lines of all time. Actually, take that back. 8 of 10 for 51 is one of the stat lines of all time. He's a QB of all time. I guess blame Canada. I will say, though, the coaching decisions during the offseason will be interesting. Does the money affect it? Do some coaches get, resign, fired? Be interesting to see. Quick pass out to the right, like a 5-yard gain. A bit more than a 5-yard gain. Almost a first down right there. Nice Surratt catch, elite. Bro, Houston is tackling like the Showboats are little girls. Come on, guys. This is truly one of the games of our time. I mean, hey, it's the toilet bowl. I mean, it's the toilet bowl. I mean, not too shocked that it is the way it is, but it is hilarious, that's for sure. I will say, it doesn't make me feel old, but it is, like, I just never expected to be seeing, like, when I go to look at the comments, totally off topic, by the way, but I love when I go to the comments and I see somebody's a public subscriber and I go over the little red icon that you see as a YouTuber, and it says 2 years, and I'm like, damn, I've been on here over 2 years. It's just, like, it really just feels like a couple days ago I was making, the brief history of the New Orleans Breakers, and it's crazy to think about like that, how far we've come. Still have the game on my TV in the background. Just, hey, have the game on. You don't want to be too invested to see them lose. If you're not fully invested and they lose, it's like oh, they lost. Whereas if you watch it and they lose, it's like, oh man, that's what happened to the Panthers. That really sucked watching them lose that double spin move. It's the game of our time. Toilet Bowl is the game of our century. Definitely a game of spring football. Still have the game playing. Oh, I just read that. Honestly, I'm barely paying attention, but enough to see what's going on. I mean, I know I just said this like 2 minutes ago, but if the game has like nothing going on, I mean, Memphis is going to go out for a kick. But yeah, I'm watching my 2020 to 2022 Texans. Landmines would make it more interesting. Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, Memphis is going to punt it, so it's another punt. It's a 3-0 game. It's just, there's not really much going on, so kind of hard to talk about it. And I mean, the return is to like the 15-yard line. I mean, basically nothing. I don't know, let's see. Can I make this a little bit more interesting? I could put like, pink lights on. I guess I can't put lights on. There we go. We'll change the lighting. Maybe that'll make the game better. Just change the lighting a little bit. That looks more normal than having them on white. Okay, I love RGB lights. Waiting for you to say there's a cat on the field for some excitement. That honestly would make this game exciting. True. Bro, Memphis is driving and the whole drive implodes literally. This is the most hyped game I ever seen. It is a game. That's for sure. A red-hot poker that they can use at this point. The Showboats' identity is disappointment. 2022 is the Bandits. They're supposedly the best team on paper and go 4-6 2023. They're 5-3 with a playoff appearance in the bag, and they still fumbled. We need Kevin Harlan to call a cat on the field. Yeah, that 2022 Bandits team was, they were a team. I mean, they had that game in, like, Week 9 to beat the Breakers to basically guarantee a playoff spot, and they just completely fumbled the bag there, and then that was hilariously bad. And then last year, they get that huge winning streak, and then they, you have the 42-2 game, and you have the Breakers blowout. Not good. A battle of inches. True. The greatest spring football game. This is. I mean, I can't wait for my Tank Bowl video to come out on Monday or Tuesday, and it's just going to be, the drive happened. It was a punt. The next drive, punt. And just show punts. It's like all this game is. It's just something else. That's for sure. It really is something else. Let's look. I'm going to go pull up the stats real quick. Let's see the stats. Justin only has 3 receptions. I need him to get about like 3 times that amount. And even then it won't work, but yeah. Dude, Sinet came into the game. I didn't even realize that he was in the game at any point. We're watching a soccer game. I mean, hey, 3-0. 3-0 is a pretty, a higher scoring game. So if we view it as a soccer game, it'll definitely feel like it's something else. All of us are saying like a commercial. 3-0 Memphis, but nothing has happened. Yeah, I mean, nothing has happened since the touchdown that got overturned. Yeah, I mean, like, it's a play-by-play, but what am I gonna... I'm just gonna say, oh, the pass was incomplete for, like, the 5th time in a row, punt the ball, If we get to a legit drive, then yeah, we're gonna go harder into the play-by-play, or if we're at the end of the game, but at this point, I don't know. So we'll say, just an FYI to be ready. Tomorrow and Tuesday. Yeah, tomorrow and Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. I'm going to have community polls coming out that are going to be asking you guys who you guys think is the MVP, OPOY, Special Teams Player of the Year, Head Coach of the Year, and all that, which I will be making into a video. So just be on the lookout for that. I'll probably have 2 to 3 of them coming out, at different times during the day, the next couple days. I want to have them out before the official awards come out. So I'm going to have that come out, It's going to be interesting. Yeah, MVP, I'm probably going to put, like, on that, I'm going to have, let's see. Oh, stream delay. I'm going to probably put out McCarron, Martinez, maybe Bates, Luis Perez. Have that as a question. Head Coach of the Year, the 4 coaches in the playoffs. And basically have it be that, and you guys tell me who you think deserves the awards for those. So be on the lookout for that in the next couple of days. The MVP, the most exciting thing, and nothing came out of it, is all of us watching. Let's see over here. Memphis converts the first 3-point attempt all season. If you know, you know. And everything goes back to the maximum suckage. Yep, first down play, basically nothing happens. Sick run. Klatt's picks for the Player of the Year awards. Oh, he changed it, looks like. Okay. Joel Klatt has MVP as Martinez. I agree. OPOY is Hakeem Butler. I agree. DPOY Braylon Speaks. I agree. Head Coach of the Year Skip Holtz. I do not agree at all. I'm sorry. No, the coach that led the best team in the league heading into the merger, the best team coming out of the merger, and the best team in week 1 does not deserve Coach of the Year. I'm sorry. I know people hate it. It's going to be Wade or Nolan. Those two guys actually had to deal with issues. One of them deserves the Head Coach of the Year award. A big play? Bro, we actually have a big play? That's like a 50-yard reception. We actually had something happen. Oh my god. That's crazy. We actually had something happen. I mean, that was legitimately like a 50-yard play. That's the first legit big play we've seen in the whole game. The football moved. It did, and it wasn't from a punt. That is crazy. Now, will Houston do anything with it, or will they take a sack and get out of field goal range to miss the kick? That would be hilarious. I wouldn't even be shocked if that happened. Which is so sad but true. Wow, another play that actually moved the football. They're actually driving. This is actually interesting. I'm switching to guns. I love Joe Klatt calling games. 22 is on fire. Offense, no way stop this year. Same bring us back to our regular schedule. Yeah, I mean, we're finally seeing something actually happen in this game. Houston might put up a touchdown. That'd be interesting to see. Offense in the Tank Bowl, impossible. True. This is something we haven't seen in a while. This is not good. Merritt appears to be down after the play, which is bad since he's, the only reason why the ball is basically moved at all on offense. Maybe if these Cats did football be more exciting, maybe they'd be a big play. Take a close look, make sure the football not again. I like to pretend that Houston's kicker is Nick Vogel because I have no idea who the kicker is now. Hey, to be fair, JJ Molson has been solid for them. I mean, he has been very solid. I'll give him that. He's been like the most dependable player on the team, and even then he has had a couple issues, but he's been dependable. Merritt's up, so that's good. 3 catches for 78 yards. Crazy. Man, I can't wait for this stream to end, and as soon as it does, I'm going to have to work on my power rankings video to try to get it out. So one thing that sucks about having a game late on Sunday, it means that I have like no time Sunday night to work on videos for the next day. It is what it is, though, as the saying goes. Quick snap, drops back to throw, throws to the right, and it is incomplete. What do you think about them moving 16 or 18 teams next year if they expand? No. If they're expanding next year, go to 10. If you expanded 2026, go to 12. That's how I view it. I know some people will even say 2026 expand to 10. I would say that it should be 4 teams in 2026. If they do next year, only add 2 teams. That would be what I would do. Whatever. Oh, games. I did not realize that. That was... Okay. Yeah, no, that'd be crazy. 16, 18 years. Nah, that's too many games. Even if they expand, that's just crazy. Because then none of these guys are going to be ready to go back to the NFL. So, I mean, I don't think they should expand games. Even if they expand, I don't know if they should expand games unless they go to, like, up to 12. I thought Chris Blue was replaced on the Stallions because he was mid, not because he was hurt. Turned out I was wrong. Yeah, he was actually decent, but then he got hurt, and then he got healthy because the Stallions decided to cut guys who got hurt and then just re-sign them when they were healthy. If there were 10 teams next year, how many should make the playoffs? I'd keep it at 4. Keep the playoffs to be, like, to the elite teams. That's what I'd have. If they ever went to 16 or 8 teams, I'd have a heart attack. A nice play for the... Other sick run. I was about to say that. Nice play for the Showboats defense. So, yeah. 2-minute warning. Yeah, more games would get too hot. Yeah, because then you'd have to play this season starting in February, have it end at the same time. I think the most games you could realistically have is maybe 14 if you move the season to start early March and have it end 4th of July weekend, which even then, you get to the issue of games being hot. Who do you think has been the best player on the Showboats? David Davis for the season, followed by Vinny Papele, followed by Matt Conklin. That'd probably be my top three. I will keep saying sick throw or run. Derek Dillon was cut because he tore his Achilles. No excuse for cutting Dillon. Yeah, I mean, Derek Dillon was... There were some cuts that were really shocking, especially like the biggest one to me is still the fact that Boogie Roberts never got picked up anywhere. He's a guy that, especially in the run block or run game, run defense, would be huge to have. The fact that he never signed anywhere is insane. I mean, hey, granted, I know he was inactive today, I believe, but Andre St. Amour only played a couple games for Arlington, and he made a big impact in the games he played. A lot of those guys needed to be signed to teams, never got their shot, and then huge reason why some teams were bad. If Houston turns it over, the field goal, that'd be hilarious. If the Renegades got Pearson, Boogie should have been picked up for sure. I mean, yeah, it's like what I talked about in the Arlington Eliminated video. Their season got derailed the second they drafted Lindsey Scott first overall. That's no disrespect to Scott. I think he could be a very good quarterback as a starter. But with the first overall pick in the dispersal draft, you drafted a QB that would be your backup. I mean, Trent Harris was on the board. Ja'Cour Pearson was on the board. Not a good one. Cole Hicatini, what a legend. If the NFL once toyed with the idea of adding endorsement advertising on the pants, which got laughed at as a NASCAR fan, maybe for the UFL. I mean, hey, to be fair, Michigan did have Rocket Mortgage patches last year. I believe it was Rocket Mortgage on their jerseys last year. Why not? They have the U.S. Army now, so, I mean, hey, if it gets you that bread, you get some bread. It is what it is. Imagine Boogie gets signed. Oh my God, dude. If he were to get out of nowhere, you just see Michigan Panthers sign Boogie Roberts, it'd just be like, you'd just be crazy. The road to St. Louis proceeds to show the St. Louis team. Imagine Styles getting Boogie Roberts, dude. Nah, that would be so insane if we were to see that happen. That'd be crazy. Starts chance, bring Boogie back, bring Boogie back. Boogie should be on a team. As long as the endorsements are classy. I mean, I don't know if it's a league. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember if it's a league thing or just a Michigan thing, but I know there was the underdog fantasy deal that, happened as well. I mean, the UFL is doing pretty good at getting some sponsors. You had the Progressive on the field during the game earlier today, I believe. So, I mean, why not? If you can get some good deals, make that money. I'm going to get a drink after this drive. I completely forgot to bring a drink in here, and my throat is getting super dry. I just want to see him play again. My personal favorite football player. Yes, I liked him over Mahomes, Pacheco, and Kelsey, just because he's so fun. Ooh, Henderson goes for a decent run. He's going to be down at about the 4-yard line. We might actually have some offense here. Yeah, Dillon was very fun to watch. It really was crazy that he never got, picked up anywhere or, injured. It's just, he was a very dynamic player. We definitely do want to see him play again. We're at 3rd and goal. I'm going to say it. If you get, 3 yards, go for it. If you don't, kick the field goal. Boogie should be one of them. Also, Channing Stribling. I believe the thing with Stribling, though, is I believe he has lingering injuries that are kind of like Tariq Cohen in a sense, where the injuries that he got are just really bad. So that's kind of the issue there. Pass to the deep right of the end zone. Incomplete. They also need to start getting some halftime entertainment. Yeah, I mean, they definitely do. I think a pregame show is the most important thing, though, for TV. I know, St. Louis has a pregame show, but they definitely need that. No flag. It looks like Houston will have to kick a field goal to tie the game up. Jake Bobo. I know you're talking about. You're talking about a certain Brandon Perna, I bet. Yeah, that is no way roughing the passer. Good decision to pick it up. Jake Bobo. Oh, my God. They need to kick this ball. If they go for it, that's just crazy. Just kick it. Get the 3 points. Tie the game up. I know. Memphis doing something is crazy. Yeah, it was something about the injuries. I think Royce is right on the money with that. I don't remember exactly what injury it was, but yeah. Not Perna. Wow, I know he did a lot, but I don't know who it is then. But yeah, I mean, Stribling definitely did have a lot of injuries that happened. I think that's why he got cut from 2 different teams this year. 25-yard field goal should be a very easy kick. Kick is up, and it is barely good. That's actually hilarious. And no matter how few fans attend, the IFL focuses on the fans. Yeah, I think that's what the UFL needs to do. Like, especially the thing is with Memphis is a great example. The people that do go to the Memphis games, the yacht club, do love the team, and you need to, show support to those guys rather than making things like just not. That's how I think, kind of. I love all the clickbait sports channels that have had to root them. Tree, Grossi, Perna, Scooter 5. I'm going to be honest, I really don't watch Grossi or Scooter. I used to watch Scooter, but I don't really that much anymore. But I definitely do agree. They're all really solid YouTubers, but I'd say Tree and Perna are top two, and then 5 Points is third. He always mad about something. I mean, hey, it's Sean D. Filippo. Coach Flip does what he does. Houston's now 12 and 14 in field goal attempts. That's a really solid number. You love to see it. I mean, you definitely love to see that. Okay, I dropped something on the floor and I can't find it. Gotta love it. Memphis coach arguing the refs again. Crazy. Houston has scored 146 points. It's pretty bad. It really is. It really is a bad number. I mean, it is what it is, though. Passionate fans are better than casual fans. That's for sure true. That's one thing that's definitely really good with Memphis. Memphis 275. Oh my god, that is horrid. 275 points allowed in a 10-game season. That's almost 30 points a game. That is horrific. That is really bad. Who names himself Jake Bobo on YouTube? Oh, there's one of those guys. Yeah, I've always seen. I haven't seen one for Jake Bobo, but I have seen those type of guys that will name themselves a guy and just like be the ultimate meat rider. I have heard of those guys, but I've never seen the Jake Bobo one. Okay, ball's got at the 30. Gonna go to about the 35. Yeah, just short of the 35. Looks like Memphis probably will do nothing with this. With YouTube Shorts commentators, lol. I might make an alt called Derek Dillon. That'd be great. What would your channel become if the UFL folded? Would you turn into a Carolina Panthers channel and move to other spring football leagues? That's a question I really don't want to have an answer for, but honestly, I don't know. That's a very good question. It's a lot easier to focus in on one league, even though I'd like to do NFL stuff, but I'd also like to do hockey stuff. I couldn't do a Carolina Panthers channel. I'd be so upset all the time. I really don't like watching the Panthers because they just always break my heart. It'd probably be maybe another league, but probably be just overall to kind of just a sports channel would probably be my guess. I agree. I do not want to die either. I missed a lot of the Brahmas game because the family event. Garbage got hurt. Yeah, he re-injured his wrist. Now, to how bad of a degree, I don't know, but he did re-injure it to the point where he couldn't finish the game, had to be on the sideline very early, and was done for the whole time. UFL had a boring finish compared to the 2023 USFL. Like, people seem to forget that the 2023 USFL had the best finish any league has had in the modern era of spring football. You had both games in the Northern Conference before the playoffs, and then you had all 4 teams, I believe, still technically having a shot in Week 10, and the other conference, it was crazy. The 2023 USFL was definitely the best finish. All 8 teams could make the playoffs in the final week. I believe Memphis was like basically eliminated, but still. Why? The Panthers got the number 1 overall pick, right? They got the number 1 overall pick like a couple years ago, yeah, but this game is for the number 1 overall pick. The Panthers are so good, they picked that 32nd. Oh, you're talking about that Panthers. That Panthers, that's right. No, I remember because they traded for it. Panthers are so good, they picked... Okay, I love the Jerry Jones slander. But yeah, the Panthers, they traded it away. We couldn't get a better pick. I'm not a fan of who we got. It sucks. If that UFL ever folds, I'd bounce to the ELF personally. They're getting better attendance in Europe than the UFL outside of St. Louis. I have heard the ELF has been having a really good season this year. Memphis had the toughest path. I think Fox is starting to make a halftime show. Actually, the Generals were eliminated the week before last year. No, remember, technically, they still were able... I know, Lilish trolling, okay. No, technically, Adam, they were still in it, remember? Because they won that Week 9 game against Philly. That Week 10 game was a winner gets in against Pittsburgh. Whoever won that game got in. So the Generals were still alive in that final week because they won in Week 9. That was when they, gave it all they had and then just came out flat in Week 10. The Showboats, I believe, may have been eliminated, but I think they technically had a chance to get in. We're at 3rd and 6. Memphis could get a field goal, but we'll see. The Cleveland Browns league. 3rd and 6. Generals were better than 3 and 7. I don't remember. I don't view it like that. The Generals were one of those teams last year that while they had the talent, were just not that good. Some games are just blowouts. I mean, hey, that's like a lot of leagues. Granted that like the midway point of this season had a few games that were really bad. I mean, granted, the beginning and end of the season, basically every game's been close. But I mean, that just happens sometimes. Even the NFL's like that. Oh, yeah, it just came back. Winner is in, loser went home. Yeah, and you had the Panthers with E.J. Perry starting his first ever game, getting the W against Philly. Then Pittsburgh getting the W against New Jersey. And then you had that incredible playoff game. It was insane. And as the cool kids call it, Aura. 70. Yeah, make it 16 attempts for 81 yards. It's something else. Had the talent, but not that good. Not get me started. Yeah, that's fair. As a Memphis fan, you're probably hearing that a lot. But, I mean, hey, that Generals team had Vito, had T-Will, the running back T-Will. You had... Well, the issue is that you lost Perez. Perez was a huge reason why the dual QB system worked. Very much under just failure of a team last year. Curtis Johnson looks like he needs to be in a retirement home. Let's see what Matt Conklin can do. 4th and 3, they're going to kick a field goal. There's 2 seconds left in the half. Let's see if he makes the kick. If he makes it, it's going to be 6-3. If not, it's going to be 3-3, which would be a hilarious way to end the half, honestly. XFL Conference Championship game tickets go sale on Monday. Just for those of you who want to know or, want them, that's when they go on sale tomorrow. Kick is up. Kick is good. It is going to be 6-3 Memphis at halftime. That is pretty crazy. St. Louis Battlehawks posting best coach in the league. I don't know about that one. Yeah, CJ better go into a retirement home. His back might break. I call Conklin the big red bow. 6-3 at half. Yeah, I was never going to miss. Could do the lingerie football league guys out there in underwear at least so get attention. Memphis scored 175. What a game. Some may call it the greatest game. They might. Houston allowed 222. Not great. All right, I'll be right back. I'm just going to go get a drink real quick. I'll be back in probably, 20 seconds. I just got to find something that I dropped to. Oh, man. This is definitely one of the games of all time. All right, I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to get a drink from my fridge. Alright, I'm back. Now, I do not have my... Ooh, I gotta turn the light off real quick. Oh, man. I just fell in my chair. I do not have my normal Diet Dr. Pepper. I do have my Pepsi Zero Sugar Wild Cherry, though, so that's good. Alright, let's see what the chat is. Okay. He was holding people too long. I do see a lot more people say... This is the first time they watched the UFL this week, and now they're interested. Hey, better late than never. You had a couple big games this week. So, yeah. Damn, they're the first time watching this Tank Bowl. This is the real Tank Bowl. I'll cry tears of joy if DeFilippo actually decides to make halftime adjustments. Lol. Ah, man, it feels so much better now. Dude, talking for an hour and a half straight with having nothing to drink is not something I'd recommend. That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah, the cat does not care about this game, that's for sure. Do you, pretty? No. Here you go. Go on the chair. Okay. So we are on halftime. Game is 6-3. Let me go pull up the stats real quick for this game. Memphis is getting beat by total yards by twice as much. They have 81 to the Houston 163. Neither team is doing good rushing. It's 7 yards for Memphis, 16 for Houston. Oh my God. Houston does have more penalties. Both teams can't score in the red zone. And it is just not looking too good. Neither quarterback, Nolan Henderson actually has a good stat line, 8 of 14 for 132, whereas Josh Love is 12 of 16 for 81. Weird game. Well, I mean, a huge reason for that nope is that it went from being from basically just the USFL channel to being the UFL channel, and posting a bunch of stuff before the season. Of course, the QB tier list, 23 total is crazy. But yeah, I mean, it was just a lot of stuff happened. I mean, let me pull this up real quick. I can actually pull this up. Before the season kicked off, let's see, last 90 days, no, last 368. I mean, the merger was announced in January 1st. January 1st, I would have been at, let's see. Yeah, January 1st, I would have been at 400 subscribers almost. So since January 1st, we have basically doubled up on subscribers. In fact, better than doubled up. So, yeah, I mean, it definitely was a lot of growth during this season so far, that's for sure. Huge amount of growth. That is back. Okay. It's an honor to be this bad. Oh my God. Not even team, it's total. I love the Army shout out. Okay, you want to go out? I got you, pretty. Hi, pretty. I just let the cat out. I mean, a lot of UFL channels did see a lot of growth. I know United Football Media saw a little bit of growth. I know a lot of people for both these guys are very controversial. I know the Mark Cast gained a lot. I know the Comeback Period gained a lot of subscribers, though his was mainly due to taking videos from the UFL, full game replays. But a lot of UFL channels did grow a lot during this year. I mean, even the UFL channel itself went from being like the XFL having I think it was 70K to having well over 100K. It's been great for spring football. I think that people who are saying it's praying for its downfall are being shut up a lot with everything that's been going good. So it's going pretty good for the UFL so far. I hope the Army next year can invest more in the UFL. It'll be interesting because from what I remember hearing, I think it was Mike Mitchell who said this, they're expecting 100 people to sign up for the Army based on the UFL. If they see that amount or more, they're going to continue this agreement or even pay more. If not, they're either going to lessen their agreement or go out of it entirely. Interesting to see how that works out. How are the full game videos allowed? Excuse me. Great question. I will say that I have not gotten hit with any sort of copyright for my in-depth reviews or anything. With the USFL, I can assure you that it was if you posted a clip longer than 6 seconds, your video got demonetized. Whereas the UFL doesn't seem to be that way. Now, if the UFL decides to start putting full game replays up like the XFL did, if I were the Comeback Period, I'd be very worried I'd be hitting with copyright strikes, which are really bad. But in terms of how it's allowed, the UFL just doesn't seem to be doing a lot in regards to it. I think that they understand that, people need highlights for their videos to get overall growth. But full game replays, very, very weird how that's definitely allowed. I don't think that should be allowed. That's why I wouldn't do that. Because technically speaking, that means I'd be allowed to put the game replay on here or the game on here. But I am not letting that happen. I don't want to risk anything in the future hitting me back. We need college football type trophies. Tank Bowls deserve a tank shaped trophy made of craft sticks. That'd be hilarious. Macaroni and glue. Haters got silenced lately. They did. Especially since the past couple of weeks, the TV ratings excuse me, have still been good. Where usually, whether it be the X or the USL, they keep going down as the season goes on. The numbers have actually stayed the same or gone up in some cases, so that's been really good for the UFL. Here's this period, that's for sure. I mean, it's just the attendance is the attendance. It is what it is, but yeah. I started my YouTube channel in February. I have 84 subscribers so far. Fun and free hobby for me. I mean, it's a fun thing to do for sure. I mean, that's how I started it. I was just doing it during the off season when the USL first came out. And it is what it is, It's just one of those things where you just have to have the right videos come out. Like, it's to a point where I know what videos will usually do well. It's the classic ones, expansion videos always do well. Videos about QBs always do well. My QB ranking and tier list videos were great. So, and then it's a lot of things that are just continuing to upload consistently. It's like all those. I don't understand how the UFL had haters in the first place. The haters sound like miserable football fans and sad people. I mean, hey, it's the online landscape in 2024. Sadly, it is what it is. San Diego had the fleet in the AF and still have a military connection with the IFLX strike force. So if a UFL team put a team there, would you support a military connection? I mean, hey, if you're getting money, you're getting money. I mean, the UFL, I'm fully for this U.S. Army agreement. It is kind of cringy seeing every week a story about somebody talk about the Army. But if you get some money for it, some big money, why not? I mean, why not? Yep, QB and expansion are my top 2 watched. I mean, Roy said, assume you'd agree. Sometimes it's very simple. Some things are just, you always know. Like, I knew when I did my attendance video a couple weeks ago, I knew it would do well. I knew expansion videos would do well. I don't want to use them as a crutch. I know, no offense to them, but I know guys like Markcast in the comeback period will try to do it every week if they can do an expansion video. I only want to do it if there's something big coming out, big info, but it is what it is. Quentin Meeks has been emerging this season. He has been really solid. But for me, I like more football. I agree. It's always great seeing more football. I mean, that's why I have a bunch of stuff. There are some haters just hate UFL for no reason. They said they have college and NFL for reasons, but for me, it's more football. I mean, yeah, but at the same time, college and NFL football go on in the fall and then end early, mid-winter. Whereas spring football, you have it for the spring, early in the summer. It's just more football. Why be upset about it? 100% says Royce. Yeah, why would people want to watch the MLB over football? That's the one thing I don't get. I do get it if you watch March Madness, the NBA playoffs, or NHL playoffs over the UFL. But MLB regular season games, bro, it's a 162 game schedule. Missing 2 games to watch the UFL isn't really that big a deal. I'm just saying. I personally do not get why people watch MLB regular season until the All-Star break. After the All-Star break, I can see it. But before it, I just personally don't see it. San Diego Sailors, has 162 games. Who cares if you miss a game? That's my feeling. You have a bunch of games. Oh no, I missed a game. I only have, 161 other ones to watch kind of deal. UFL's less games, more meaningful games compared to MLB. I mean, yeah, especially because if you lose the first 2 games of your season, it's a big deal because then you already lost 20% of your games. Whereas in the MLB, if you lose the first 10, it's okay, and you still can, win 100 more. Unless you're a Yankee fan, then you gotta watch every game. I can assure you that's not the case. I know Yankee fans, and they do not want to watch every game, and that's because they just really hate how the team has done nothing in regards to getting rid of a manager that should have been fired years ago, but it is what it is. People watch the MLB if it's the playoffs or World Series. That is true, even though I really only watch it for the World Series and rarely the playoffs. But I do watch it for the World Series, that's for sure. I grew up with the Atlanta Braves on TBS, and I left it on only as background noise. I mean, it's hard. I'm going to be honest here. I might do this as a community members exclusive video, which, by the way, I have community membership, 99 cents, blah, blah, blah. I might do it, but the baseball might be 6th or 7th. If I were to do a ranking of favorite sports to watch, baseball might be 8th or 9th. There's almost any other sport I prefer to watch. Let me think. Football, hockey, basketball, I'd watch all 3 of those over baseball. Soccer, I'd watch over baseball. MMA, I'd watch over baseball. Golf, I'd watch over baseball. I mean, that's 6 right there, top of my head. This thing got a buzzer to wake you up if you do baseball. um, I doubt that, but yeah, golf. I would rather watch golf over baseball. I'm gonna be honest. Before this stream, I was watching the Canadian Open. Yeah, the halftime is finally over. I can agree, disagree. I can't watch golf. Yeah, when I was like younger, I couldn't ever watch it, but now it's like when you watch the main coverage, you're always having somebody doing something. But yeah, I was watching the Canadian Open before this game was on. Can watch a man win the LB. Yeah, that I do not watch. I have not watched the ladies PGA, but I do watch the normal one. I wouldn't watch soccer over anything. I will say a huge reason I'm into soccer. One of the very first games I watched was the Madrid Barcelona El Clasico. That was happening at night, naturally where it was being played. And in the rain, it was a fantastic game. Still probably the best soccer game I've ever watched. And of course, there's guys I like on Real Madrid, so yeah. Yeah, the attendance should be coming out soon. It'll be interesting to see what it is. It can only be so bad. James Larson tweeting, the UFL Toilet Bowl has lived up or down to expectations. The two teams combined for 3 field goals and 1 on 10 on third down. That is hilarious. Yeah, this game will not be hitting the over, that's for sure. I just need Justin Hall to get some more receptions and Houston win the game, and I'll be happy. I do love some soccer, and soccer's getting more popular. WNBA has men. I did watch the WNBA. I only watched it because it was on before the UFL game yesterday. Watched Caitlin Clark against Angel Reese again. Truly the halftime stat of our time. Handoff, or no, fake the handoff, and it's going to be a first down run. About 20-yard run, big run. Going to be interesting to see exactly what that does. And right on cue, the next play is like a 2-yard loss. You gotta love it. I prefer women's soccer, but the U.S. women's soccer team really turned me off soccer. Always boasting about themselves losing to the boys and old men who didn't even practice. Truly a group of defensive battle. This is a defensive battle. That is true. Yeah, I know that the U.S. women's soccer team, I remember when they lost last year or like 2 years ago, I remember people were rejoicing over it. It was like just crazy to see that. Let's see, we still have not seen the official attendance, but that'll come out in a bit. I did not want to click that open. Bro, miss input. Injury timeout, yeah. I have 15 concurrent viewers. Bro, I just butchered that so bad. 15 concurrent viewers. That is, I think, the most we've seen. Because it's been around 15 the whole time since the Battlehawks game, which obviously the Battlehawks boost. That's awesome to see. And the chat rate's been incredible this game. It's been really good. And we haven't had, like, any stream issues. This is really nice to see. Hopefully next week's this good in terms of the stream healthy and all that. Flag football in the Olympics is a 20-year dynasty for America. True. Coming up next, Skip Holtz. Yeah, Skip Holtz going to continue to not care about this game. Let's see how this looks. Okay, yeah, we're not going to keep that as the color. We're not keeping that as a color. You know what? I'm going back to pink. Yeah, try some different colors, and no, pink and white definitely look the best. Yeah, I love women's soccer, but it should be enough to compete against women without bragging they can play against and beat men. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Just like the WNBA with all that, I mean, just play your game, be great. I mean, it's the same thing with, like, I don't remember who it was. It was that NBA player was talking about how, it's harder for an NBA player to or harder for an NFL player to play basketball and something like that. And I'm like, bro, stop talking. Have you seen that video of Tyreek Hill? Yes, I did. It was hilarious. This is the game you watch with the homies and have a laugh. Why not? As in, you look like a zombie. Lol. Yeah, some of these lights are not the best. I'm starting to fall asleep for this game. This is something else. Yeah, I honestly thought RGB lights were more expensive than they were. Like, I knew they weren't, like, $100, but I thought they were going to be more than, like $10, but it is what it is. Sunbelt Baseball just made history for getting 4 SBC teams in the regional finals. Wow. I do remember that the college baseball series are going on, but I don't really follow college baseball. I mean, it shouldn't be a shock since I say basically don't really care about the MLB. I mean, it just is what it is. As a Showboats fan sitting on the couch alone, I'm only having a laugh with the chat. Bro. I mean, hey, it's like you said, you at least have the Chiefs to get rid of your pain, whereas for me, it's hope Michigan does well or hope the Mavericks do well, because I'm not looking forward to watching some Mets baseball and some Carolina Panthers football, I can tell you that. Caitlin Clark is finally bringing attention to support the WNBA, and many other players are jealous, but she's not the one saying these things. That's true. I do hate how some of them, I get what they say. Some of them talking about how, she's not going to dominate the league. That's fair. But when they're, outright hating on her, come on. She's bringing you a ton of eyes. You should be grateful for it, not hating on her. And boys, it is time for the second interview that has nothing to do with this game, as Skip Holtz is now here on commentary. Well, not commentary, but basically on Zoom. Skip being impressed with the talent of the league. I mean, we kind of expected that, but yeah. I'm sorry, I would not say that every coach can say this is the most talented team they've had, in spring football. That is, no, not the case. I mean, I would say this Houston team is less talented than last year's team because of all the injuries they've had. Okay, thank you, YouTube TV, for giving me a notification 2 days after I did it. I mean, come on. Memphis Showboats didn't do well last year nor this year. They can't fix the show, but they broke. No, last year's Showboats team was really solid. They had a 5-game win streak. Cole Kelly was looking really solid, but they kind of just ended the season poor. The issue is that sometimes it's just talent isn't the only thing that makes you good. It's the Nick Foles, Carson Wentz argument I always go back to when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. They should have stuck with Nick Foles, because while he wasn't as talented as Carson Wentz, he was better for the team. And that team last year, the Showboats worked really well together, despite them not really having any big stars. So, yeah. Roughnecks, yeah, lol. What will the UFL do if Skip Holtz leaves their coaching job? That would really suck for them, that's for sure. If he were to leave, they should rename the trophy after him potentially if they win it. But yeah, Skip Holtz definitely needs to stay there. Showboats move to a smaller stadium. I do think it's cool that they play here. This is where the original Showboats played, so I think it's a cool throwback, but yeah, I mean, averaging 5,000 fans a game, or 6,000, I think technically is not great. There it is. Good old UFL posting about FedEx, all because of this team. FedEx cares, talking about them in the halftime thing. Good old FedEx. Back when they played on real grass. True. The Skip Holtz Trophy of Opportunity. No, we got to get rid of that name. I know where you saw that. No, we got to get rid of that. Drop back for the pass. Out to the right. Ooh, some contact, but no flag. It's going to be 3rd and 10. We might have another field goal here. Might make this a 6-6 game. Really interesting stuff going on. So, yeah. Future owners of the Memphis Showboats, FedEx. FedEx owner, hope he buys the Showboats. I mean, hey, He was there when they moved there. He was shaking hands with Todd Haley. I mean, if anyone's going to buy a team this offseason, it's going to be Smith buying the Showboats for sure. Field goal contest, this really is. All right, let's see what they can do. Drop back to pass. And running away from a sack. Needs to throw it away. Does throw it away. Going to have to kick a field goal here. That was a smart throwaway. Don't take the sack, just throw it away. Get the 3 points. Tail of the tape, record 9-1 versus 7-3. Birmingham versus Michigan, 26.5 points per game for Birmingham. Leads the league, 22.8 for Michigan. 18 allowed for Birmingham, 19 allowed for Michigan. That's really solid. Will the final score be 6-9? That'd be hilarious. Sounds like we're going to see something pretty funny happen. It's going to be a missed field goal. That's hilarious. 40-yard kick, and it just doinks. Hear the thud. Not even a good doink, just a thud. That's going to keep it 6-3 Memphis over Houston. This is definitely one of the games of all time. This really feels like if a team scores a touchdown, they probably win. Is that SpongeBob writers use footage of a crowd of a game between the Showboats and Bandits for their episode about Squidward creating a band. That's a classic. That is honestly one of the best parts about the original USFL. Cody Parkey. We got them right where we want them. Oh my god. Subscribe by double doinking. FedEx will move the Showboats to Columbus. Nah, because I mean FedEx is in Memphis. It's the whole point of it. Pretty much is, Smith and all that. Hey, imagine the talent it takes to aim for the goalposts and hit them. True. For the cheerleaders, oh my god. Forgot. We have a hockey game going on right now, don't we? We do. It's 2-zip Oilers over Dallas in the first period. Wow. I did not expect that. They're still using some old USFL footage in the newer SpongeBob episodes. That's great. I'm thinking of that one Vince McMahon meme with... Well, which Vince McMahon meme? Gotta wait for the second part of that. Come to our games. The good old football YouTube community has been shaped by that one man. That one Pittsburgh fan. Anyone remember the college kicker that pulled off that quadruple doink? I do remember hearing about that. That was something else. It'll be interesting to see which expansion rumors are true, if they end up not doing anything, or if they do something. We hear the Mets. Oh my god. The Mets, baby. Great. I love the Mets. I love when they, can't re-sign or can't sign Pete Alonso. Don't want to trade him, even though they could do the trade and sign, but whatever. Friday nights, it will be cool to see that. Considering the fact the college football rumor was true, I wouldn't be shocked if it is true that we do see UFL games on Friday nights. The only thing is, like I preached last year, it has to be every single week. If you don't do it every week, it's going to fail. But if it does work, it'll be cool. With a sub that says, tell me something that's he was special, that's good. 2023 was something else. New Jersey and Seattle, if they could, that would be cool duo to bring back. But it would be cool to see them both back, but probably not for a while. The doink of the top is only a Tank Bowl thing. I accidentally fat figured I could answer. Quadruple doinks. Presented by the U.S. Army. You gotta love it. This is something else. This really is. I will say it will be hilarious if Memphis loses because they don't have their super challenge because they used it to get rid of the touchdown. I will say that'd be hilarious if we did see that happen. First pass, good pass, about a 7-yard gain. If they win a double, that'd be hilarious. I will say if any game, we have not had a game go to OT this season. If any game were to go to OT, it would be this one and it would be hilarious. I mean, if you're a fan of defensive battles that are like also an aptitude of offense, this is a very solid game. It really is. I mean, this is something else. Jay Adams, 4 catches, 37 yards. Shame he's not in a team that, has a good O-line. For the Dallas Stallions, is that the case? Arlington would need to move. Yeah, I think that was the USFL just getting trademarks to get trademarks, not for any real reason. They do a handoff, first down for the Showboats and more. It's going to be at about the 50-yard line. Wow, something actually just happened. Yeah, you can't have the OT rules be shown if you don't actually get to OT. I love defensive battles, but the offense is just awful. Yeah, I mean, this is very reminiscent of that Week 1 game between the Panthers and Battlehawks, where it was, you watch it, you're like, wow, the Battlehawks offense is just getting beat by the defense, whereas the other side is like, wow, this Michigan offense is just horrid. That was hilarious. Dallas Gunslingers, that would be a cool team. Let's add a fourth team to Texas. We should add like another three. That'd be hilarious. Should make a whole Texas conference or division. Quick pass out to the right. It's going to be about a 7-yard gain. We're actually seeing some offense here. Some people are 50-50 for next year, game being played on Friday nights. Like, understanding because some got out for work or they have plans to go out to the party. It wasn't until the other game today that someone that was true. It was the first time we saw a kick get returned, either punt or kick, was Chris Rowland, who might have stolen the Special Teams Player of the Year. That was true. Yeah, I personally like the Friday night football game. There's a reason why SmackDown has been on Friday for so long. Why not? Incomplete pass, it's 3rd and 3. But I mean, I do like having games on Friday nights. I think that would be a really cool thing to see next year. Having a weekly primetime game will be really good for the league, as long as it is weekly. Will be cool to see. San Diego Bombers, throwback names with old PCPFL team from the 1940s, pre-Rams. I mean, hey, there's a lot of old teams they should definitely think about using. I mean, people always go back to, like, the XFL and USFL, but you still have, the original UFL, you have the WFL, you have a lot of other stuff as well. Start a roller hockey league. Bombers. 3rd and 3 for Memphis. Let's see if they can finally do something else in offense. Drop back to pass. Run into the right. Throws. Incomplete, but there's a flag probably on the defense. Defensive holding. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about Wichita or Fresno. I really haven't heard either of those. Well, and then to Oklahoma. Bro, bully the Arlington Renegades. Nah. If you are gonna move a team out of Texas, you move the Roughnecks out. They kind of butchered everything, but I wouldn't move any of them. But if you do, that one. So yeah, it's gonna be a first down for Memphis due to the penalty. Definitely a massive help for Memphis with that hold. But yeah, this is definitely a game. They also have the Memphis Hound Dogs, St. Louis Stallions. Yeah, Memphis Hound Dogs, I remember hearing about that CFL team. Drop back, quick pass, and it's about a 6-yard gain. The California Football League get their champ to play the UFL. Yeah, California Football League, man, the money spent in California would be a yikes right there. Good drive so far. It is, but last time they got stopped in the red zone. If they get a touchdown, it feels very much like a touchdown. Makes this game just way too much, but we'll see. Josh Love's stat line is still incredible. 15 of 20 for 102 yards is so insane. Get snap, handoff, and it's a first down. Big run. That's about a 15-yard gain. They're going to be at the 20-yard line. Roland locked up Special Teams Player of the Year today, in my opinion. He had my vote before today, but clinch it. Yeah, especially because Bates is just, like I said earlier, basically since like week 6, starting week 7, he has not been as good as he was. So yeah, I do agree. If I were to vote now, Chris Rowland is my Special Teams Player of the Year. Arlington, Memphis, and Houston have been total disappointments. Yeah, Memphis number 1, Houston probably, nah, yeah, Yeah, I agree. All three of those have been disappointments, that's for sure. Showboats, go, go, go. Houston Casinos. Do they keep all the teams participating in Arlington next year? Probably. Should they? No, but they probably do. Incomplete pass. There's the old veto. Los Angeles Dons, San Diego anti-Showboats. O-line must stick on am on right now. San Francisco poop Dodgers. Oh my god. All right, we're at 2nd and 10 now. Memphis still up 6-3 with 7 minutes left in the third quarter. This is one of the football games of all time. Going to be a TD and a flag, it looks like. This is going to be crazy. Los Angeles smog, that's crazy. Flag to get rid of a great TD. That's so on brand what this game really is. And remember, Memphis does not have their super challenge. That's a big thing. Remember, they cannot challenge anything because they already used it early in the game in the first quarter. Okay, penalty is declined. That's big. Let's see. Looking at the play. Oh, yeah, it's going to probably be overturned. Definitely going to be overturned right there. That definitely looked to be out of bounds. Yeah, immediately we see Mike P talking about it being out of bounds. Okay, I love dropping something and losing it. That's always great. Remember the Los Angeles Bulldogs team that almost played in the NFL? That was a big-time California champion, the PCFL? No, I don't. The overpriced Hausers, LA Fats, he's out. Yeah. It's going to be another touchdown that doesn't get counted. But no, I did not hear about the LA Bulldogs. The Flint Fruit Punch Tap Water. Now, let's have the Flint Tropics. If you know, you know. Incomplete pass, 6-3 still. So, yes. Just something else. Now, there will, because of the flag, because of how it works, they will have the flag count now, so it will be still a free first down for Memphis, but naturally they do lose it. Bring back the Orlando Rage. There's a couple XFL teams I think would be pretty cool to bring back. The LA Extreme, spelled with, XTREME, is definitely hilarious. Cleveland Stallions. Las Vegas Homelessness. The West Virginia Blackhawks. No, being LA Chaos Spring Football, it's a Lakers town. Yeah, I mean, just look at how the Rams are getting treated, and they're, winning, or were winning. Louisville Stallions. Man, everybody want to move the Stallions. Big gain of yards. First and goal from about the 6-yard line. Quick handoff. About a 4-yard gain. Going to be at like the 1.5 yard line. Need a team in West Virginia. Somewhere in the NC, in the Carolina, Virginia area for sure. West Virginia. I know I will say there's a lot of former teams that have boats with their name, like the Shreveport Steamer, the San Diego Fleet, the Destroyers. There's a lot of teams you can bring back. You just have a bunch of teams that all have similar names and just put them in a division, like the boat division, the horse division. It'd be funny. Touchdown for Memphis. It is going to be 12-3. We finally have a TD. Now, this is still a one-score game. We'll have to see if they get the extra point. If they do, then they will naturally, make this into a two-score game. But if not, it will still technically be a one-score game. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. The game is over, probably. It's going to be hard to see Houston getting 2 Ts for sure. The Houston Massagers is crazy. I mean, technically now that'd have to be Cleveland, though. But yeah. Oh, there's the Underdog Fantasy logo right there. We got a timeout. First timeout for Houston. Weird call, but we'll see if it works. Alabama Bloodlines. The UFL should make announcements during the Super Bowl, which is on Fox. Yeah, I mean, they did that for the USFL like 2 years ago, or was last year? Yeah, last year. No, 2 years ago. But yeah, I mean, now that they have it on multiple different channels where the Super Bowl is on, as long as it's on a Fox or ABC network, they definitely can do that. Though Fox is easily the best since, Fox owns the league. And that's the whole thing that people seem to forget about. In terms of the financial side, people forget that a huge reason why the UFL and USFL before was so great for Fox is that they get free programming. They don't have to pay for programming. It's their own league, which especially on FS1. FS1 usually has nothing going on. But now they have, you can pretty much go on like any time at 9 p.m. and you'll see a UFL game on there. That's free programming they get on FS1, which is huge for them. The Orlando Predators in the AFL, right? I mean, hey, there's the Nashville Predators right now. I mean, we can't forget about the more obvious one. I mean, you have the Nashville Predators in the NHL now, to be fair. Looks like it's going to be OPOY to negate the 2-point conversion. It's going to push him back. Let's see. Memphis, UFL. There was a team of the Atlanta Predators. Yeah, the Atlanta Predators are currently in NAL. I like the Memphis Masculines. All right, score is still 12-3. Again, we're going to redo the 2-point conversion, see if Memphis can finally score. It would be huge if they do. Makes it a 2-score game. Technically, again, it's still a 1-score game if it's a 9-point game, though. Houston getting a TD and a 3-point conversion is, I don't know about that, but we'll see. Yeah, Nashville Predators are a hockey team, though, but that's the Predators I know of. I mean, the Atlanta Predators, I wouldn't have been shocked, but yeah, the Nashville Predators in hockey, I mean, still is a team called the Predators. We'll call them the Ohio R. Yeah, no, I'm not going to get banned. The R. Kellys. Alright, this is going to be from all the way back at the 15-yard line, which is hilarious. And it's still going to be only a 2-point try. Quick pass to the right. Doesn't get it. Very, very weird decision to do basically like a screen pass on a 2nd and 15 or a 2-point conversion from the 15. It is what it is. New York P. Diddy's. Dude, the P. Diddy versus R. Kelly rivalry to go hard. So it is going to be 12-3 Memphis over Houston for sure. New York, no Diddy. Oh my God. Josh Love having a very game. I mean, let's see. It is like 15 of 21. Hold up. I did not just see that in chat. The Philadelphia Cupcakes. Yeah, I agree. That is definitely a if you know, you know. And if you know, that's hilarious. If you don't, you're not going to get it. And that's crazy. Memphis is 3 of 9 on 2-point attempts this season. That's pretty bad. 181 total points. Anchorage, if they had infinite money. I mean, hey, if the league had infinite money, they just put a team everywhere, but to be fair. I mean, a lot of places they could go, but we'll see. Attendance is 6K. Oh, did everybody's favorite insider, Mike Mitchell, post it? Yes, he did. That's 6K. That is... Let's see. Is that better than last time? No, it is not. That is the second worst of the season, but it is worse than last week. So yeah, I mean that's a good thing. The toilet bowl did not hit the all-time low for attendance, so we'll take that. 5 points all season. Oh my God. The Jersey Panthers, dude. We need a team back, especially Generals. Owls, the Owls, DC Bandits. Man, I love how under all these posts, it's just people talking about stuff like... It's just always just so much about people hating on each other. It's crazy. Yeah, this was definitely one of the weaker weeks for attendance. Well, not really. I mean, St. Louis was good. DC was okay. Birmingham, bad. Memphis, really bad. UFL 2024 is trending. Yes, sir. Love to see that. Bro, why the F is it 69 degrees in Fairbanks, Alaska? That sounds illegal. Bring back the Providence Steamroll. Oh my God. DC Congress Clowns. I think Seattle will be back next year. I wouldn't be shocked to see them back soon. Thick Side Stays Lives. Also, I have a team in my own fake football league called the Detroit Owls. Memphis en route for an 18-12 win. True. Arlington Bandits. I mean, hey, that'd be a funny rebrand, but they could work since they have the Bandit logo, so it's like one of those why not kind of things. first TD of the game. Only took like, over 30, or basically 40 minutes. Showboats are showboating. Darius is so short. Hey, thick thighs save lives, though. Thick thighs save lives, though, to be fair. So, I mean, hey, it works. Definitely really sucks how the whole thing with T-Will didn't work out. I really think it's the biggest one that I still can't believe failed as bad as it did. I mean, they never even gave him a chance really either. Quick pass in the middle. It is actually complete for a first down. Talking about thick thighs save lives, the GOAT interview. I mean, hey, there was that interview earlier today about the dude with the beer snake. I wouldn't be shocked if we see a shirtless pyramid interview yesterday. That'd be hilarious, too. What's going to happen to the Panthers next year? It looks like they're either going to... It looks like they might move to Ann Arbor or Spartan Stadium, which a lot of people don't want to see. Those are bigger stadiums than Ford Field, but it's due to the fact that Ford Field doesn't really care about them that much, is what the reasoning is. I don't know. Ford Field attendance went up from last year. The Panthers... I hate to say it, but the Panthers technically were the most successful team by attendance standards, since pretty much from what we understand, they went up in attendance basically every single game. So it'd be tough to argue why you would move them, but granted, Ford Field didn't do you any favors. Not having open days for a potential home playoff game, the ticket issue earlier in the season. So if they move, I get why, but it was a very good place for them to be there. So I don't know. Another really good play. It's going to be a decent gain right there. It's going to be now 1st and 10 from about the 22-yard line. They might actually score something here again. Jake, oh my God. Portland or Columbus would be better for Panthers. Now, the Panthers are trying to stay in Michigan. They're just trying to get to a quote-unquote better place to play. I've seen a lot of people agree that going to EMU Stadium, Eastern Michigan University Stadium, is a better idea. It's a smaller stadium. It's still in a pretty good place geographically. That would be a really good place for them to go to. So I think that going to Eastern Michigan University Stadium is the best. By the way, another really solid play up to about the 10-yard line as we see some ripped pants on the TV screen. Gotta love it. But yeah, I think Eastern Michigan University Stadium, if they're going to move anywhere, that's where they move to. If not, just stay at Ford Field. I would not go to Ann Arbor or Spartan Stadium because that's too much. Audi Field's a perfect size UFL stadium. I agree. Aside from the Battlehawks, going to a place where it's a less than 20K is definitely really good. Panthers or Stallions led the league in percentage of announced attendance actually in attendance. Nah, St. Louis definitely was up there, but I'd say Michigan was probably up there too. Michigan's attendance was very much a surprise when you consider how bad it apparently was last year to how much better it was this year. But yeah. The snack that smiles back, goldfish. Oh no. Ooh, that's not good. Injury timeout, looks like. Houston might actually score here, though. That's pretty incredible. We weren't expecting that. Ain't no way you get 2 interviews with coaches who don't relate to the teams. A picture of ripped pants, thick thighs save lives. I'm watching Sunday Night Baseball. I mean, this is one of the games of all time, that's for sure. If the Battlehawks move, it'll prove something, smoking really strong stuff. Dude, I do like the jokes people have of just move every team to St. Louis, though. Yeah, dude, if the Battlehawks were to move, that'd be insane. I will say, though, this is starting to sound like an 18-plus movie. Yeah, the chat is going crazy. We gotta love it. I'm doing laundry right now. I didn't see it. It looks like it's a foot injury, but I couldn't see a ton. I didn't see the replay for sure. I'll let you know as soon as I see it again, if they show it again. We're currently in commercial break, so I can't see it. All right, while we're in commercial break, I'm going to go look up who is currently winning this NHL game. Still 2-0, Oilers in the lead. This game 18-plus movie, lol. Yeah, I mean, hey, I will say this is the first primetime stream I've done. All the streams I did before during the day and overall. I mean, so far it's doing pretty good. We've went from consistently being at 15 current viewers to about like 20. So if you haven't, make sure to like the stream. But, I mean, it's really solid to see what we're at right now. It really is. I would put in the team emojis for these two teams, but I don't have them, and I think it's hilarious that I don't. So, yeah. Game of the century, the most waited for of the century, rumbling Roughnecks for the steaming boats. Oilers versus Panthers. Yeah, it's probably going to be Oilers versus Panthers in the Stanley Cup final, that's for sure. Yeah, that was a while ago. I should put another poll out, but I haven't. Problem with Portland, and I live there, is there are very few football fans per capita. Sadly, it's a soccer city, and some diehard Blazer fans still hanging on, barely. I know that when people originally heard a potential team in Portland, like the Vipers, I don't remember it was a very big, hot topic on whether or not people agreed or not. To answer your question, G-Man, he is going out currently. Yeah, he's at the medical staff, not in the field, so that's not good. And that was Kiki Chisholm, I believe. And touchdown Houston. Houston will be only down by 3 points now. If they get the 3-point conversion, if they decide to go for it, they will tie this game up. Kirk Merritt is having a great final game of the season, that's for sure. And let's see, they're going for the 1-point attempt for some stupid reason. They should have gone for at least 2, I would think, but does not get it. Showing the Panthers Stallions game currently. I hope to see an NFL team Europe come back. That would be cool to see. Since borderline racist. I'm going to post another poll. This is kind of whack, but this is going to help me determine what you guys view for the power rankings, because I still have Birmingham as the #1 team since I need to see them lose again. But the rest of it is pretty tough. So let me put this out. It's definitely going to be, yeah, I'm just currently making the poll. You only have 4 options, so it sucks, but it's what it is. So they could have gone for 3 points if they wanted to go 1 and failed to get it. Yeah, I would either, you should have gone for 3 or 2, because at least with 2, if you get it, it can help you out later, but going for 1 makes no sense. UFL team could actually score exactly 1 single point entire game. Yeah, a team could. If you get a touchdown, then get a pick 1, you can, for sure. Some of those trademarks were definitely just getting trademarks for the future. Will it end up working? Don't know, but it might. Yeah, Thompson has had a very poor season this year, and a lot of it is definitely due to coaching. That is 100% for sure. Sometimes leagues will acquire trademarks without doing anything with them. Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. Alright, so here is a random, completely non-important poll, but this is for the power rankings. Who would you say is the second best team in the league? I personally know who I have at #1, but I want to see what you guys think is the second best team in the league after everything that happened this past week. With, how the games are, so let me put that out. Why does neither team look like they want to win? Because this is truly a super tank bowl. This is, like, clearly 2 teams that just aren't that good, that's for sure. Yeah, second best team in the league. I personally have the Stallions at number 1. So, but I want to see who you guys have as the second best team, or if you even have Birmingham less, because you can make an argument for all 3 of them. If you view a fully healthy San Antonio team as being better than St. Louis, I get it. So yeah, Vipers literally didn't have a city to host. Do you think that they'd be a traveling XFL team if they find a city for leagues that emerge? No, they probably would have done some sort of last-second decision, probably go to like Portland or Arizona, and just kind of sat there. That's for sure. Drop back to pass, flags down on the field. So yeah, I just don't know which one it is. It'll be funny if Angel Hernandez... Man, it's a name I don't want to hear about. False start in the offense, 5-yard penalty, going to be 3rd and 9. Imagine the UFL using the blitz, the League 1 and 2 names, like the Atlanta video game. That would be something. All right, so far from the poll, we already have 12 votes. So far, we have most people voting for Michigan as the second best team in the league, followed by St. Louis, then Birmingham, then San Antonio at last place, which I'm not too shocked at, but yeah. So we still got that up. That's for the second best team in the league. Who you think the second best team in the league is? Neither team got the memo. We don't realize it's a win. And throw is intercepted. 40, 30, 20, 10, touchdown. There are flags, but at the moment it looks like it's a touchdown for Houston. We'll see exactly what happens, though. Markel Roby. John D. Filippo with a face that's almost as hilarious as a certain other face that G-Man knows exactly what I'm talking about. Sounds like a block in the back in the return. Sounds like the return is not going to happen. It's just going to be an interception. Yep, Houston will get the ball, but they will not get the touchdown due to the block in the back penalty. This is where it all falls apart. I mean, hey, you at least don't have the touchdown be given up. That's at least good there, I guess. So, yeah. Do you 42-2? I knew that was saying just save me, Todd Haley. Oh no. I mean, hey, Todd Haley at least got some W's. Ouch, that interception hurt Memphis bad, that's for sure. This is something else. This really is becoming something else. All right, well, we still got the poll going up. I mean, it looks like most people agree that Michigan is the second best team in the league, which I wanted to see because I'm probably leaning towards putting them at number 2 in my power rankings. But I wanted to at least see if other people also agree that they're the second best team in the league, even though they did, lose their game. I just wanted to see if most people agreed with that. So, yeah, because it might actually impact the power rankings I have. I don't miss Todd Haley as a Showboats fan. I miss Todd Haley. Crowd got loud. That was good. Incomplete pass. When do you think there will be 2 teams? Well, here there are going to be 2 teams next year. If there are 2 teams next year, it would probably be around. If they want season tickets out in September, it'd have to be like July or August. But I don't think we'll see teams next year. It's looking like most people don't want it in the league, but if we do, it'll probably be August. We find out. At least that's what I would think. Memphis has 19 turnovers. Oh my god. The Suns have looked horrible these past 3 weeks. That is true, but it's hard for me to put them off of 1. Yes, they should have lost last week, but whether I should or shouldn't, I'm going to probably keep them at 1, and then number 2 is between Michigan and St. Louis for me, but it's leaning towards Michigan since a lot of you seem to agree that Michigan is the second best team in the league. So I'll probably put Michigan at 2. 3 will probably be St. Louis, then 4 San Antonio. That's probably how my power rankings will be for the top 4, which I don't know if that'll probably go back to being out on Tuesday. I accidentally posted it on Monday last week, which I did want to try testing it on Monday, but with the Tank Bowl video having to come out tomorrow probably, it'll probably be Tuesday my power rankings video will come out. So we still have the poll up for the second best team in the league if you haven't voted on it, so make sure to vote on that for who you think is the second best team in the league currently. St. Louis is the flagship team. I mean, it depends how you view it. If you view it as overall, yeah, if you view it as being a good team, it'd be Birmingham, but if you're viewing it on being like a face of the league, kinda, I mean, St. Louis having 30K plus every game, can't really argue that. 1 Stallions, 2 Panthers, 3 Brahmas, 4 Battlehawks with a home field advantage. Vans flipped those last two. 30 watching. Says 819 for me, which is still a really solid number, but that's definitely good. I did post, I don't know if you saw it, Chris, but I did post back on your comments. As for what I saw, Sims does not look, or Gidna will not be back till the earliest, being the championship game, but Sims should be healthy for this upcoming game this week. So Gidna has a chance to return in the championship, so that's the big possible return, but the other one not so much. Like St. Louis brings in the numbers always. In theory, Memphis 10-0 with Derek Dillon playing all 11 positions on the field. Lol. 38. Wow. I guess my thing is not right. Awesome. Yeah, it's a shame about Gidna, but yeah, Sims should be back, which will naturally be really huge for sure. $32 watching. Wow, it is. I guess my thing is concurrent viewers are different. It is what it is, but that's awesome seeing that. I mean, we did not have that many. I think we had somewhat close to that in the other game, but definitely not the last one. Yeah, the DC defenders would have been much better if Abram Smith was healthy. His injury definitely was a huge impact to the whole season. That was the single biggest move any team had in the offseason, was him getting hurt. With him healthy, DC definitely makes the playoffs. Even with their questionable O-line, they would have made the playoffs with him back. That's for sure. It's kind of ironic, but remember the NFL expansion team called the St. Louis Stars that failed to enter the league? I think I do remember hearing about that. Believe it, actually. This is hype, fellas. I was looking for a smaller stadium for Memphis. They can play Redbirds minor league stadium. I think that it was the DC versus St. Louis game. Yes, Steven. Now only 20 rate over. Commercial over. Yeah, I mean, for me, it was never saying that, but I mean, I'll take that. I mean, it shows me just concurrent viewers, but even concurrent viewers were well over 20, which is definitely really good for usual. I think it's something weird about how they work, but it's definitely solid numbers for this stream. I think it helps doing prime time. I've never done it before. And I'll keep the poll out for a little bit longer since we still have, some people who haven't voted on it. Second best team in the league poll: San Antonio, Michigan, St. Louis, or Birmingham. Who do you think is the second best team in the league? Well, I'll close that probably at 9:30 since that'll be 10 minutes up. Nolan Henderson is doing really solid the past few, possessions. Let's see if he can continue that. 1st and 10, quick pass out to the right, first down, or not first down, but a great catch and about a 5-yard gain. SNF theme would go hard, yeah. Shame that's NBC, though. I mean, Houston can get right back on the lead, believe it or not, or can actually get the lead if they're able to get a touchdown on this drive. Interesting to see if they can pull it off. Justin Hall at 5 receptions. Dare I pull it up? I'm going to pull up my Fox Super 6 picks. I'm going to see how close it is. Yeah, it doesn't show it. That's great. Some motion in the backfield, some weird handoffs, and it actually works. So a nice first down run, some misdirection is actually doing good. The game got exciting all of a sudden. I mean, really, this game, the first half was boring as hell, but now look at it. It's actually having some offense. This is actually crazy. I mean, again, Nolan Henderson is just much more of a dynamic quarterback than Sinnett or Garantano. But, Sinnett isn't terrible, but just, he's so much better. I mean, Nolan Henderson just is better. Definition of a Panthers fan: NFL versus UFL sucks. I hate believing that my UFL team could actually beat my NFL team. I hated watching the Panthers last year in the NFL, and I'm not looking forward to it again this year. Wow, almost a really cool play design. Just too high of a throw by Henderson, incomplete. One of the few times I ever got to do a night game. This is the first time. I don't think any other game was a night game. I could have done one the week I missed, but I had to go somewhere early in the next morning, so I couldn't stay up for that one. I basically went to bed pretty early that night. But if I can do one next year, I definitely will, because it's definitely great. I live closer to DC. Yeah, I'm 7 hours away from DC. I was debating on going to the DC-Michigan game. If it was on later, I would have, but not when it was. Is a quarterback saying freedom 68? Henderson's running. There's a pass to the left. Going to be about a 3-yard gain. There's going to be one week. There's going to be a snow game. New York, I live in. Let's see. Justin Hall, 5 receptions. Keeping up with all that is okay. We're at 5:30. We'll end the poll. So the poll ended up with most people saying Michigan is the second best team in the league. So that is definitely interesting. So yeah. Yeah, I do live in NC. I live in about central NC. So I'm like nowhere near any team. I'm like, DC is the closest and it's like 7 hours away from me. But yeah, I mean, that's why I can't go to games all the time. And that's why I was like, oh man, it's going to suck driving to St. Louis. But I am. Tipped pass, or not tipped pass, but that was a very catchable, not really, it was just receiver tipped the ball, incomplete, almost intercepted, should be able to get a field goal here as long as, Molson makes this kick, which will tie the game up. I picked the Battlehawks as the second best. It's definitely a close one, but when you have 47% say Michigan, I'm probably going to go with, okay. Kick is up, and it's good. It's going to be a tie game, 12-12 with basically 11 minutes left in the game. All right, so let's put this one up then. Who is the best team in the league? Let's put that one up. Best team in the league. Well, then, if we had a fake pro league, you'd know more about where NC would play. I don't know. Anyone says the Brahmas are elite after this week. I don't care. Garbers is hurt. It's the issue about the running back position because them not having the 2 running backs really hurt them. I have the NC Gunners. That's why it's just my opinion. The thing is, the best place I could legitimately see, it's I can't remember how big it is. I don't think it's super big. Let me pull it up. Carter. I just spelled, okay, there we go. There's Carter Finley Stadium, which is like in Raleigh. It is a bigger stadium, but it's not like a massive college stadium. It's about like a 57,000 seat stadium, but it's in Raleigh and it's right next to PNC Arena where the Hurricanes play. If I were to be objective, I think that's the best place for a UFL team to go would be Raleigh, play Carter Finley, name themselves like the Wolves or the Red Wolves, go kind of with the NC State Wolfpack in a sense since you're playing at their stadium. Try to attract those fans. I think it'd be a cool thing. Or you could do like a Blue Wolf or something like that to go with all the Blue Bloods there, like the Dukes, the UNCs. So yeah, that's what I would do for NC. If you're going to put a team in NC, put it in Carter Finley. I can't pick Memphis. My excuse is that lower scores are better in golf. True. Wow, we're still seeing a lot of people voting Birmingham, which I'm not too shocked at. But yeah, we have multiple people voting Birmingham, very few voting for St. Louis, San Antonio. We need some green teams, purple teams, and black teams. Hey, you could bring back the Maulers and just have them use both the black and yellow and the orange and purple. That would be pretty funny. And it's like one of those why not kind of deals. Won't let me vote St. Louis. Wow, that's not good. I agree with the majority of this poll. Purple and orange, though, was iconic. It was something else. Well, if the score holds, you'll have your first OT. This is true. We haven't have an OT game this season. It'll be cool to see one finally. So far, we got 14 votes. I don't know if Badfinger was able to get the vote in or not, but so far it's majority Birmingham, very few voting anyone else. A couple votes for St. Louis, a vote for San Antonio. Kind of surprising with how many people voted Michigan second, but it is kind of, not too surprising. Just Michigan's pretty hard to argue against being like the second best team in the league, but it's hard to argue them as the best team in the league, so I kind of do get that. All right, the return gets to almost the 50-yard line for Memphis. They're going to have some good field position to start this drive. Tried to kill Hakeem Butler. Oh, my God. Never mind, not light blue or Columbia blue. Might get sued by the Titans. Yeah, just like with the Oilers situation with the Roughnecks logo in the 2020 XFL. The legendary Houston Roughnecks QB room of Jared Garantano, Nolan Henderson, and Reed Sinnett. One of the QB rooms of all time. And I'm a Texans fan. Would love Kelly Green as a team. Yeah, there's definitely some colors that need to be addressed. I mean, like, the USFL was horrid. That was the one thing I really didn't like about the USFL is how many red teams there were, or red and white teams. It was too many. I'm glad that they rebranded the Showboats. That was definitely the best move the USFL made, was changing the Showboats from the red and white to the blue and yellow, just because it would have been awful having another red team. Granted, they would be replacing a red team, but the point still stands. Yeah, the night games look pretty. I do want to see the Monday Night Football scoreboard for primetime games. Yeah, I think that as long as it's Friday nights every night, it would be really cool for the UFL to have that next year. Having games on Friday night for sure. I'm going to close the poll in a couple minutes. So far, we still got majority votes for Birmingham for the best team in the league, followed by St. Louis, then San Antonio, after having Michigan win the second place poll. I mean, I think the bottom four is pretty obvious, though. I think everybody agrees Arlington is going to be number 5 on everybody's power rankings. Then the bottom 2 is whoever wins this game gets the 7 spot. But the top 4 is just really tough because none of those games are really crazy. Okay, it's still not letting you vote. Okay, so it's still very much in favor of Birmingham, but St. Louis would be at about like 14% if you were to add another vote, or more like 15% if you add another vote. So there is that issue going on there. The Roughnecks have the best offense in the league. Oh my god. I still can't believe that's a real soundbite. Kendrick Bourne was with Cooper Kupp in Eastern Washington. All-white team in Brown. Hakeem Butler went to Iowa State with Alan Lazard. Yeah, there's a lot of cool college connections that people always, find out about later for sure that are definitely really interesting. They just go like, wow, really? I mean, it's like there's that one NHL one. I think it's like Sedin, Messier, or there's like something where there's like 3 Canadian hockey legends that played on like different Canadian teams, all played on the Vancouver Canucks together, and it's really weird. Sponsored by Prime and 5 Hour Energy. Seeing those good old UFL sponsorships, gotta love it. Still 12-12 with 10 minutes and 49 seconds left. What do y'all know about U Sports football in Canada? Not a ton. Lamau, the UFL got a Prime sponsor. Yeah, good old Amazon Prime, though, not the other Prime. I know everybody jokes about, both Primes now, but yeah, the good old Amazon. Great first down play. It's going to be a first down and more. Really solid opening. Birmingham needs to connect to the Tide and Tigers more for sure. Let's see if Memphis can finally get some more offense going. Josh Love is going back down a bit, but yeah. This game is ass compared to Maulers versus Panthers. I enjoyed Maulers versus Panthers. I enjoyed it because Michigan just opened a can of whoop ass on Pittsburgh and just obliterated them by like 15 points. I very much enjoyed that game. This game is this is one of the games of all time. That's what I'll say. Yeah, that was a great reception by Papelli, that's for sure. That was a great reception. Would like to see some victor runs. We just got one nice start one. Let's see if he continues that. There is a flag on the field, though. This is one of the group of pixels on a screen of all time. I say the UFL is going to do a lot more local marketing, a lot longer off-season to market more. Yeah, that's going to be one of my videos when I talk about the attendance and what they need to do. They definitely need to market a lot more. I mean, I've heard story after story of people who live in these markets who know so many people who have never heard of the team being in there, like in that city, which is horrid, and how little marketing they do. There's a lot they need to do, especially in local marketing, that's for damn sure. A great run by Love. Going to be about a 7-yard gain. Really solid play. But now it's going to be like 2nd and 13. Maybe we should do a football history channel highlighting teams from the past that are defunct now. That would be a good idea. I might do something like that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I need to try and do during the off season. So that's definitely a maybe. I wouldn't do a channel, but I would maybe do like a couple of videos talking about them. Because I did the brief history of like the original teams that came back for the USFL, the 9 of them. And those were fun, but they were very much like overall type of stuff. But yeah. Trivia. Another flag. I could do a live stream, that'd be cool maybe. Okay, let's see. Josh Love pass, thrown complete. Flag is on the field. Gonna be a first down if the flag is not bad. Gonna be DPI. Gonna be off. Gonna be done. Off-season live stream. I might honestly do an off-season one. I think there's a couple things I could do for a live stream during the off-season. I mean, like, could do a classic, a classic streamer thing. Do a Kahoot, which would be hilarious. I mean, that'd be funny, but there's only some stuff to do. Yeah, trivia would be something cool to do for sure, though. Something like that. Some old teams. I could just show logos of WFL teams and see if anyone knew any of them. Like, I know some people would, but, like, the WFL, definitely some wild ones. Zach Wilson will side with the Showboats. First down play, drops back to pass. Throws a pass to the left. Very quick pass, and it's a rocket of a pass that is caught for about a 6.5-yard gain by Vinny Papele. One of the very few players on Memphis that has actually lived up to all the hype he had in the offseason. That's for sure. Still about 8.5 minutes left, so there's still a lot of football left to be played. We're going to close the poll. We're going to end it with, naturally, aside from the one vote that we couldn't get, mainly Birmingham, but if you count the extra vote, it will be closer, so keep that in mind. The Shreveport Steamer. Hey, that's one of them, bro. That was a classic one. It was plastered all game. First down for Memphis. Yeah, the Shreveport Steamer, that's one of those good old WFL teams, and there's a few other ones that are pretty wild. I mean, like the Southern California Sun, that was honestly a pretty cool logo. Simple, but a cool logo. Yep, there it is, SoCal Sun. I know we were talking about the Portland teams, and there were a few other ones like the original Houston, or not the original, but a version of the Houston Texans were there as well. There was a few other ones that I can't remember, but I know that they were there. I was looking at all those logos like earlier yesterday, so yeah. Add good halftime shows to lure people in for that, if nothing else. Bring in former Alabama and Auburn players. I agree. There's a lot of things that they need to do. Things like the halftime and especially pregame shows, the UFL needs to try and do those, that's for sure. I'm working on a series of videos for the offseason ranking the helmets of all of the football leagues over the years. It's honestly a good idea. I mean, you got a bunch of helmets. Some of them are really cool. Some of them not as much. Like, I'm going to say it again. The Oakland Invaders had some W helmets, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm finally starting to work on off-season videos now so that I don't have to work on them as much. So hopefully I can get some done so it's a lot easier to work in the off-season. I still have some other videos I want to work on. So yeah. I like the old Shreveport Pirates logo from the CFL expanded to the U.S. That classic, like, one-year endeavor. Oh, yes, the best offense in the league and only scored 12 points. And let's see. Josh Love going to get the snap. Drops back. Throws a pass. Great catch. Not a first down, but about a 6-yard gain. Going to be second and goal from, like, the 1-yard line. Yeah, the Ultramon Roughnecks helmets are very much either you think they're bottom or you think they're top. There's like nobody thinks they're okay. Everybody thinks they're great or terrible. They can't really do a thing about the pregame since they have time slots in front of them. Post games they can't really do. All you have to do is get the pregame slots. I mean, especially for the Fox ones, you got to remember Fox owns the league. So at least for the Fox games, you can have a pregame show since the time slot is your own. It's your own channel, right? It's not like you're getting rid of something you have to have there. But for, like, the ESPN ones, I know they're technically kind of owners, but that's a bit harder. But at least for Fox, Fox can definitely have pregame time slots since they straight up own the league. They own half of it, and they own the TV channel, so it's not like it matters, right? And then, like, with the ESPN show, I mean, their UFL Today show being after the weekend and never promoting it is really stupid. I know some people like it, some don't, but the fact that they don't even promote it really at all is a pretty big bummer. So there's a lot of things the UFL can do that they can actually do that aren't, like a pipe dream. But we'll see. Yeah, I think the helmets are bad. I get people that like them, but I think the Roughnecks should change the helmets for sure. What's the UFL today? Oh, that's actually horrid that I just heard that. I'm not even shocked you said that, but that's terrible by the league. UFL Today is the post-week show exclusively on the ESPN YouTube channel that premieres just after the week. What time? Don't know. Just after it. So yeah, it's UFL Today is not the best. You can go find it on the ESPN YouTube channel, but yeah. The Jacksonville Express. Season-ending stat crunching starts tomorrow. That's true. That is a big thing that starts. Passes incomplete, gonna be 3rd and goal. Ain't even on TV. Nope, it's just on everybody thought it was gonna be on TV. No, it's just on the YouTube channel, which is terrible. I genuinely think the Showboats can be good next year once his team has had time to stabilize itself. I mean, to be fair, it's the defense and the O-line. The defense played like a team last year despite not really being that good talent-wise. I get it. Some of their corners were incredible, but their defense played well in over their head last year, and the O-line this year has been really bad. But they have the offensive talent to be good. Agree. Should have gone with the Gamblers. Yeah, if you're going to keep their whole team and all that, you gotta. Showboats get the touchdown with thick thighs saved live. Darius Victor, that's huge. But yeah, the season-ending stat's going to be fun. You can finally, I know I'm going to start immediately trying to get some videos for the end of the season, or for the off-season, ranking QBs, ranking positions and all that getting started as soon as I'm done making videos for this week so that we can finally get some stuff ready. I'm going to hopefully have a few videos ready for the off-season, so where the off-season work is a lot easier. Because I still have a certain video that I was trying to work on that I haven't worked on in a few months about a certain former New Jersey General player. If you know, you know, which hopefully I can go back to working on that. Jim Kelly classic right there. And there's a few other great receivers on that team as well. Never mind. Yeah, hey, yo, what? Yeah, the Roughnecks, baby. What a weird decision. Quick pass. It is caught. 1-point conversion is good. It is now a 7-point game. Memphis has the lead with 6 minutes left in the ball game. A former General player. Yep, an original former General player. I posted this. I thought I would have it out before this season. Bit off more than I could chew. Yeah, it's going to be like a whole biography about a certain very famous New Jersey General that maybe I'll finally be able to finish and at least be able to work on it. I haven't worked on it in like 4 months, but we'll see. I plan on working on that during the offseason, so we'll see. Yeah, the original Generals. Hopefully I can get some work done on it. It'll be fun to see if I can actually get it done. Herschel, yep, it is a big video about Herschel Walker that kind of regret putting him on that poll that I originally did. I should have put guys that didn't have the biggest NFL career because that's like a full career biography. But if I'm trying to make it the best video I've done, it's the, it's a USFL biography is what I called it, but I've got like probably 2/3 the audio done, but there's still a lot of info I need to get. It's a lot of work to do that because it's going to be probably like an hour long, but we'll see. UFL bloopers. Memphis has scored 188 total points. Man, the fact that they've like allowed like 300 points and can't even put up 200 is hilarious. Jim Kelly, Steve Young, Doug Flutie, Reggie White, Sam Mills, legend. Irv Eatman wasn't a legend in the NFL, but he was an insanely good lineman in the USFL. Excuse me. You had a few others. Anthony Carter, legend. Bobby Hebert, really solid player. Who else? I'm just kind of in that mood right now, but there's a few other guys. Chuck Fushina was great with the Stars. Very underappreciated QB in USFL history. Bunch of great players from that old league. Sean Landetta, great punter. Tim Spencer, great running back. That was a really solid running back. Kelvin Bryant, you can argue was the USFL GOAT. You can argue that. I'm not saying he is, but you can argue that. He was great. It was a league. It was a really great league, in terms of the players. Have you ever thought about collaborating with United Football Media? I was offered something with UFM. The only issue is what the offer was posting videos on their channel, not like a actual collab. If they want to do a collab, I would, but not just going to post videos on the channel and have it just be that kind of thing. Yeah, it could have lasted. That is for sure true. Doug Williams, yeah, forgot about him. He was there in the USFL for a couple of years. There's a lot of guys that you wouldn't know went to the USFL for at least a little bit. that were really good in, that whole 80s, 90s era of NFL football. Like, I can't remember exactly who, but there was at least one really great Bills offensive lineman that was in the USFL, with Jim Kelly, like in the league with Jim Kelly. So there was that. A few other guys. Yeah, the game is finally back. Also, I predicted the beginning of the season that Memphis would beat Houston 19-13 week 1. 19-13 week 1. It was 18-12. Dude, I've had some really close game predictions. I finally hit one team correct. I correctly predicted the Renegades would put up 32 points this week. So I'll take that. But yeah, if I was offered to be a guest on UFM, I would. But I'm not just going to post a video on their channel and just have that be the collab. I did enjoy being on Springing Into Football. If you didn't see that community post, I was on that podcast this past week, which was fun to do. And I might try to invite somebody to do, something in video in the future. I mean, I, follow people who also follow me. Webb, Luke Miller, Beham Stallions Nation on Instagram. There's a lot of people, so maybe. By the old AAFC, the Cleveland Browns and 49ers, people forgot how dominant the Browns were during the Autogram years. Dude, Autogram was a beast in that era. And of course, during that era, you had Marion Motley on that team, Lou Groza, just incredible. Greg Landry, Von Johnson, Gary Anderson, Ricky Sanders, so many good players in the original USFL. Defending football show thing. Exactly. I'm not really a huge fan of doing something like that. I'd rather just, be a guest or have them as a guest rather than just putting videos on two different channels. Oh, yeah, the championship game's going to be crazy. Gary Clark arguably would be in the Hall of Fame if it wasn't for the fact that USFL stats don't count for it. That's true. Yeah, there was definitely some great players in that league. I mean, some of the guys were only, super great in the league, but still. It was a great league. It really was. I mean, in terms of the players, it was insane. I've got Autogram and Dante Lavelli autographs in my collection. I did have an autograph in my collection. I did sell it, but I did have one. I want to get a Marion Motley, but I just haven't. But I do have a Jim Brown, so I'll take that. It's a really nice Jim Brown sign of the Times on card, but yeah. Jake Bates game ball in the Hall of Fame, that is true. A lot of stuff in there for sure. The Buffalo Bills wide right. Alright, first down run for Houston, maybe. Forward progress is probably going to give him a first down. Yeah, Motley is one. I mean, I do have a Motley rookie card. I think it's a PSA 5.5 I have, so I really do appreciate. That's one of my favorite football cards I have. But yeah, I would definitely love to get an autograph of his at some point. I have an 8x10 signed Jim Brown 1-on-1 with him in a lacrosse uniform. That's something, if you know, you definitely know. The lacrosse, he was a legend at Syracuse in lacrosse. And Cavante Turpin, that's true. It definitely sucked losing Jim Brown. He was a legend in so many other things. I mean, even UFC, he was like an OG UFC guy in terms of commentating and stuff. It's not even just football that he was, a huge impact in. He was definitely really sucked when we lost him. I have 53 and 54 autogram cards. PSA except nice. Working on Jim Brown cards. I have a Jim Brown rookie in an SGC 1. That is only a 1 because it is super off-centered. If it was centered, it would legit be a 6. It's just that it's so off-centered. It's -10, 110 centering. And I have a 65 Philadelphia in an SGC 7. That's what I have so far for Jim Brown. Henderson drops back, and he is going to be pressured and sacked for about a 7-yard loss. We're doing it, G. Hey, Houston is just... Houston's missed field goal really hurt them. The TD getting taken off. Houston just... It ain't looking good, but hey, it's third down. We'll see what happens. I have a 64 where he's in front of his car, a little PSA 7. Let's look at these stats so far. Justin Hall has 7 receptions. Yeah. You should retire, L. The UFL needs UFL Network or go more on NFL Network. Damn, he caught it. Drops back. And it is caught for a first down for Houston. That's about a 20-yard reception right there for Houston. Massive play. Quick handoff by Houston, about a 5-yard gain. They're getting right in that. I mean, they're driving. This is definitely good for them. Let's see tomorrow how many UFL players get some NFL teams. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many guys do end up getting there. The CFL, the Continental Football League. Yeah, there's a lot of fascinating old football leagues for sure. 2 minutes left in the regular season. Does Houston go for 1 or 2 when they score? That's actually a good question. Houston is it's a question of how much do they trust. Essentially, it's if you go for. I mean, you're gonna have to do alternating 2-point conversions if you get the 1-point conversion. So it's how much do you trust. So let me start over. The way I view it is, if you do 1, you go to overtime. That's what you're playing for. But then you're doing alternating 2-point conversions. So you're saying that you can beat them in 2-point conversions. So then why not go for 2? I don't know. I think going for 2 might be the play. Zomb, I think you know who my spring football goat is. Is it a certain Derek Dillon? The team that doesn't want to win versus the team that always blows it, who will win this? No, not NFL Network. The AF already tried that, I think. And I mean, hey, the AFL was going to try it, but then completely failed. That's true. So that also happened. This definitely, I mean, it is a good question on whether or not Houston should go for 1 or 2. It's just the way I look at it is, if you go for 1, you're going to do alternating 2-point conversions. So you're saying that you can beat them on that. Or you're just saying your defense is what you trust. It's, I don't know, it's that age-old question. Do you try to take it? But at the same time, this isn't, kicking an extra point. This isn't like an almost guaranteed 1 point versus a struggling 2 point. This is both are going to be tough to earn. I don't know. Especially with how much. It depends when they scored as well. If they scored at a certain time, maybe you just go for 1 play to maybe get the field goal by getting a stop. I don't know. I would most likely I would say go for 2, go for the win. Because then at least we'll see. I put my bet on the Showboats, so they will lose. Hey, if Houston wins, I get another Fox Super 6 pick right. I won't get my over right on my game predictions, but I will get the team right and potentially the spread right. But yeah, Justin Hall's 7 catches. I might even get that pick right. I might go almost perfect on Fox Super 6 this week. Almost perfect. If Justin Hall gets a few more catches. Emmitt Smith, that's a legend right there. Quick handoff, and it's going to be about a 4-yard loss right there. That's bad. That's going to make it 3rd and 10. With 2 timeouts left, I think this is potentially 4th down territory. I mean, you could go for 4th and 12 to be fair, but I don't know. Interesting to see exactly what happens. All right, 3rd and 10. This is definitely a big play right here. And they're letting the clock go out, which is interesting decision, because that's saying that you're going to go for it on 4th down. Because with you doing this, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I like that. Pass is thrown over the middle, incomplete. It looks like they're going to probably have to kick a field goal here. So yeah, they're going to have to probably kick it here, then go for it on 4th and 12 to go for a touchdown. That's why I don't really get why they let the clock run. That was a very poor coaching decision. I mean, that's the one issue this team has had all year. CJ is just not a good coach, especially in these crunch time situations. He's challenging, though. This big challenge for PI, looks like. So Houston is challenging for DPI. I mean, hey, Memphis challenged it, and it worked earlier. Let's see if Houston gets it right here as well. If they do, this is huge. So we'll see. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like they're going to win the challenge. Yep, challenge is going to be it. I mean, it's a weaker PI. I get why it's getting called, but Definitely not the strongest PI. It's not like, shove the dude down, but it is still grabbing around. I do agree. It's a weaker call. It's not one that I'm heavily against. It just is weaker. But technically, yes, you're not supposed to wrap around the dude and hold him, even if it's just a little hold. So I like that. So what now? What, John D. Filippo? That is how you go as a coach. So what? It sucks. You got to go win the game. I do like that. That is good coaching right there. Telling your team it doesn't matter, just keep playing. 1st and 10 for Houston. That's big. They need to get a touchdown. Now, do they go for 1 or 2? We'll see, but they're going to have the ball at about the 20-yard line. They need 20 yards in a minute 13 with 2 timeouts left. Let's see what they do. Immediate timeout by Memphis. By the way, for the overall season attendance, announced attendance, the official number is number 1 St. Louis, number 2 DC, 3 San Antonio, 4 Beeham, 5 Arlington, 6 Michigan, 7 Houston, 8 Memphis. Is still in the UFL next season? I doubt it. I'm going to be real with you. It's just, if he wins this game, yes, that was a good challenge. But at the same time, that's a desperation challenge. You're going to have to do that flag. It's hard to keep him there, but yeah. First time being on the edge of my seat watching this team. This is crazy ending. This really is. This is a close game, but we'll see. It's 1st and 10. We'll see. Yeah, that was a good challenge. It's also one of those where you kind of have to throw the flag, so it's like, what exactly do? You know what I mean? Let's see. One man does some motion, goes out right. It's 5 wide. Let's see. Henderson drops back, runs back. Gonna have to throw it away here or run. Yep, he runs for about 4 yards out of bounds. Good play. Safe play. Get out of bounds. Stop the clock. Gain some yards. Good play. We need this Showboats win. We need this win Showboats. This is interesting. I mean, hey. For me, naturally, as you can guess, I picked the Roughnecks to win in multiple different things. So for me, it's like I kind of want them. But again, Coach Flip is a really likable guy as a coach, I think. Even though there's, sometimes, but yeah. Who's going to blow it? That's a good question. That is the question of the day for sure. All right, 2nd and 8. This is 4-down territory. They will not have enough time to go for, a 4th and 12. They have to go for a 4th down if it does come to that. Quick throw out right. It's going to be caught. He's going to go down inbounds, it looks like, so the clock's going to keep moving, which is actually good for Houston. Houston does need to milk this clock out. Do not let Memphis. And there is a timeout being called in the field. Houston calls a timeout. I'm going to be real with you. Kind of not a fan of that call. I would have just kind of gone a quick play to go for 1st down. This is so tight game. Pause. I don't know. I get making it, but again, I think this is 4-down territory. If you have to go for the 4th and 12, you're going to have to get a TD no matter what. I don't know if this offense is going to be able to go, 70 or 60 or 50 yards downfield on that. I just got one timeout left. Yeah, but I think this is 4-down territory. I've said it. I think this is 4-down territory. Unless you lose like 7 yards, then yeah, you're kind of forced to kick the field goal for the 4th and 12. But too much time left for Houston. That's my thoughts exactly. Unless you're trying to do the perfect play, but you don't want to give Memphis the ball because no matter what, Memphis getting a field goal wins them the game. So you do not want to give them time to get a field goal up. And at the same time, you're not going to have enough time to go drive down the field for a touchdown on a 4th and 12. So this is, once again, Coach CJ using timeouts when he shouldn't be using timeouts, which it's usually the opposite. It's usually him not using timeouts when he should be. So he's progressing just in the wrong way. Yeah, 59 seconds, 3rd and 3. With their QB room being backwards to what it should have been. Hey, I never saw anybody say Garantano's going to be that guy. I never saw anyone give any hype to him, to be honest. I only saw negative stuff about him. All 4 games came down to the wire this week, and that was awesome for the league. It really is. This week has been really good in terms of close games. The quality, questionable, but the overall, definitely. This is the end of the UFL regular season. Wow, that's true. It really does suck, but yeah. Quick pass. It's going to be tackled inbounds. It's going to be about a half-yard loss. But I've yet to see the coach think that deeply. Yeah, and then he takes another timeout. No, yeah, he does. This is potentially the final play of the game, pretty much. It's going to be 4th and 3. It's going to be a massive play for Houston. They need to get this to stay alive. No timeouts left, meaning they're going to have to go quick no matter what. Naturally, first down, stop the clock until the chains are moved, but overall it's still very risky. Let's see what happens here. This is one of the games for sure. This is actually going into a good game. Get a stop or I will cry. I will say it'll be so on brand for this game if whoever makes the play here also gets a penalty. If Houston gets a first down, but there's like an ineligible man downfield, or if it's a Memphis stop, but there's like a fault or an offsides, that would be so funny and so on brand. Fourth and three, big 4th and 3 here for Houston. They need to get this. They need to get 3 yards for the first down, and then they'll have a chance to win this game. If they can get a touchdown and potential 2-point conversion, let's see what they do. They're lining up in shotgun, 1 man in the backfield with Henderson. 2 out wide to the right, 2 out wide to the left. Some motion, moving the running back to the left side. Going to be 3 out wide to the left. Snap the ball. Henderson drops back. Quick pass to the right. Incomplete, thrown literally to nobody. Duck of a throw. Horrid throw. I mean, that was a bad throw. And with that, Memphis will win the final game of the season. They will win the Toilet Bowl, getting the W. That is 19-12. Let's see how bad I did in my game prediction for this one. I know damn well it was bad. So let's see. Let's go. Profile. Let's see how bad my prediction was for this game. I think I got all 3 of them wrong, which makes me go 50-50 on the week, but it is what it is. Let's see. Yeah, this game did not hit the over. Houston did not cover. I'll take it, though. It's still a decent, 6 of 12 with a couple things, right? So I'll take it. 6 of 12 for week 10. I did not want to put a slash there. There we go. Memphis wins the Toilet Bowl. Josh Love got the W. He wasn't insane, but he was good enough, and that's what made the difference. Houston secures their spot as the worst team in the league this year with this loss. That is for sure. They looked so good the past few weeks, only to have their offense do nothing against a pretty weak Showboats defense. Henderson looked solid, but at the end, they didn't give Thompson a lot of carries. He didn't do enough with his carries they did get. Darius Victor was the better of the 2 running backs. Justin Hall's incredible game is all for naught. It's one of those things definitely suck to see. Officially better than the Maulers or Guardians, lol. It froze. Ain't no way. Okay, I think it's back up. Okay, yeah, it's good. Yeah, Royce is 5-5 his best. Love to see that. Or my internet connection crashed. That's hilarious. Alright, let's see. I want to see my Fox Super 6 picks get put up immediately. I know I didn't do awesome, but we'll see. I mean, I did do pretty good, but we'll see when it ends. I want to see exactly how good I did in my Fox Super 6 this week. This is my best week. For those of you who don't know, I've been doing weekly shorts on the Fox Super 6, and I've technically been doing better and better every week. Like last week, I was ranked in the top 700, which is my best finish of the season so far. And this week, even with the game being wrong, I think I'll still be actually pretty high on it. Because yeah, Justin Hall did officially finish tied for the reception crown. So that's some points I'll get for that one. I got the Arlington, D.C. game right. I think I might finish in the top 100, which will actually be pretty damn incredible. We did a G-Man, gave them energy. Showboats should have played Houston every week. I mean, hey, they finished 2-0 against Houston. That's the only team they beat, and they beat them twice, which is hilarious. All right, let's see. That got moved up to put me at the 61st. All right, so it hasn't counted the final 2 questions, but so far it's got me at 61st, which is good, but we'll see. Message is, congratulations, Memphis Showboats. You are the Tank Bowl champions. That was from Adam. The first overall pick is ours. Love to see it. That was a crazy ending. That was actually a good game. I don't think it was as good as the game earlier today, obviously, but it was still a really solid game, honestly. It was crazy. True, both boats wins were against Houston. Who did Houston beat? Houston beat the Renegades in the first Tank Bowl of the season. The Tank Bowl results for the season were Houston beating Arlington, Arlington beating Memphis, and then Memphis beating Houston in the Super Tank Bowl or the Toilet Bowl. That is how the season is. Yeah, the regular season is officially over. We're down to the playoffs now. Roughnecks should get a new coach for sure. Glad the Showboats won. It was definitely great to see. With show shop of this, the boats, baby. The Showboats did something. Woo. I'll probably post it on Twitter, but yeah, the updates for the Super 6 are slow AF, but it looks like I'll still be pretty damn close overall in terms of it, which I'll definitely take. I mean, I'll take a great week. I doubt they're going to do something for the playoffs, but maybe they do. But yeah, I'll take whatever I finish this week at. It'll be really good. This is a pretty good game. It really was. I mean, the first half was pretty hard to watch, but that second half was honestly pretty good. That's for sure. We ain't sinking anymore. That's true. That is 100% true. I will say that overall it's definitely a solid week. In terms of my overall picks and all that kind of jazz, I would say that this 6-6 finish for this week in my overall game picks, I think is the worst week I've had in a bit, but it's still better than what I did last year a lot. So I'll take it. I mean, I had a perfect game with the Renegades DC game. In fact, I got the Renegade score right, which I'll take. Why Roughnecks? The Roughnecks really did fail that. That final drive. That final drive is the season in a nutshell. Really questionable timeout usage, really questionable play calls. You're at 3rd and 3, and it just wasn't great. The timeouts were questionable, the actual play calls were questionable. Yes, the Roughnecks do officially finish as the worst team in the league, that is for sure. They will be going to the bottom of the power rankings. In fact, I can just give you guys a spoiler alert for whenever those come out, but this will be the first week pretty much like at any point where it's going to be almost entirely different. I'll probably have only one change in the power rankings, and everything else is going to be changed. It's going to be a very different power rankings, that's for sure. Okay, let's see. Got that right, got that wrong. Where do I finish at overall? I'll take it. It looks like my final finish for this week in the Fox Super 6 is 218th. That's top 97%, which I'll take it. That was pretty damn good. I'll take that for sure. Let's just go put that on X. And what shouldn't we? I mean, this was a game. That's for sure. This was definitely a game. Super. What do you mean don't have permission to save here? Bro, sometimes I just... Okay, back to this live stream. I chose Birmingham, San Antonio, Washington, Memphis. 2-2, not bad. Thanks for hosting this. Glad I could finally join. I'm going to start compiling stats. Keep it the good work, my man. Thank you. It'll be nice. It's definitely going to be fun to do this off-season stuff for sure. Some teams definitely need to come back, that's for sure. So with this being the end of the stream, this is definitely a fun one. I did like doing this one at night, especially since a lot of other people who usually can't come were actually able to, be in the stream. So that was definitely a cool thing. So again, I will be streaming the USFL Conference Championship game next week between the Michigan Panthers and the Birmingham Stallions, which will be a very fun stream. Hopefully, Michigan wins for my sake, but if they don't, they don't. It'll be really fun to see. But we'll see. If you've been a fan of the channel for a while, make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like the stream. And if you want to support the channel, think about becoming a member. Stuff like team emojis. If we get one more channel member, I can add, I think, 2 more emojis. Do 1 exclusive video a month. Exclusive posts and all that. And again, this was a fun one. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, I do have my predictions for the 2024 UFL playoffs out. That video came out at 6 p.m. earlier today. So that video is out if you haven't already. And as always, guys, have a great night, and I'll see you guys again soon.